Jeffrey Epstein victims, and then it says they threatened to burn her. Why don't you know more about the Jeffrey Epstein victims? It's like,
Yeah,
it's like they burned her. Why would she want to say anything?
that's a good question for y'all. Why don't we know more about the Epstein things? Have you seen the pages they have released?
No, I don't. I haven't really.
So much fucking blacked out. So fucking much is blacked out. They're saying that you can take it and you can copy and paste it onto this like a Adobe software and it unredacts it.
Probably yeah, but like.
But does it really? That's kind of like I don't know.
Is it worth your mental capacity to be like, oh my god, and then be like, I'm gonna live the rest of my life doing this? And
I can get that because like yeah, imagine how many people could be implicated in it. The number is staggering. Pretty much everybody famous, rich, powerful.
I don't. I don't know. I don't understand why you, like behind closed doors, but like to an extent, you don't need cameras in like a sex swing with fucking spikes in it. And I mean, a regular just kind of hold you there. That might be okay, but like once you start getting into like an odd amount of pain, I'm like, hey, now everybody got their thing, but like pineapple, sailboat, ramekin. I don't know what our safe word is.
Whatever the safe word is, yeah, safe word. It reminds me of a video I seen the other day. This guy's running away from a cop. He's like, or it's like not a cop. It's like a bounty hunter. Oh. It wasn't dog though. And the dude was like, so who's you so fast for you? And then he like eventually gives up. He's like, all right, you didn't catch me. I gave up, just so you know. So he gets down on the ground. And he's like, hey, my safe word is pineapple juice, just so you know. And he's like, put your ankles up to your butt, and he like gets on top of him. And he's like, ooh, starts rumbling through his pants. He's like, hey, yeah, pineapple. Remember my safe word. Remember my safe. And the dude who's getting arrested is just having time of his fucking life. He pulls all these quarters out. He's like, hey, that's my change. I'd save that up for a while.
I've been finding that on the road, man.
That's a hilarious video. That's what the safe word made me think of.
I don't blame you.
We were just talking about
we used to watch like a lot of Cops Reloaded, so like you get a lot of that shit.
Yeah,
like,
a lot of goofy motherfuckers.
They're like, it was just $40. There we go. I might have accidentally turned it off. My bad. But they're like, it was just $40 worth of like one of them was $28.32 worth of Sonic drive-through food.
Oh my lord.
Border, like, over the state line police chase for this $30 worth of good Sonic. Okay, and then they get over there and they're like, I don't know, my boyfriend just didn't stop. And then this just hunk of meat comes out, burnt-er than the goddamn, like, set leather out in the sun. And I'm like, I can see why he didn't stop. The thing, that man has seen things. That he's like, he has a pink scar that goes from his shoulder blade to like damn near his nipple. I think and that doesn't make him qualified to run away with $30 worth of Sonic food, but I could understand why he may.
Yeah.
And then the lady gets out, she's like a Karen, and she's like a heavier set lady, and she's like, motherfucking rah! And they find a bunch of meth on her and they take her to jail. It's like, wow, okay. All right.
Shut your mouth. Pay for the food. Like, especially if you got meth in the car. Oh, my lord.
Oh, and no
offense. $30 ain't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
The meth explains it a little bit more.
She went to jail for a month on $100 bond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It's
a
ridiculous. Like,
it's like, wow.
A month is not even really enough to get completely clean. How about you stick her in there for 2?
Yeah,
make sure she gets
put
clean.
You in the drunk tank on the last day. You get only water.
like.
And a steak, maybe. We had my mom worked up at a gas station up the road there for a while. We had a dude come in and on something. But he just stood there and licked the window for our cooler. Yeah, like legitimately.
I think you trade places with a dog there for a minute. It sounds like
He was making out with the dang thing, and then he got like he slapped it and then got pissed off at it and started like cussing it out. And I was like, "Are you okay, sir?"
oh,
And I
okay.
didn't work there; I was just helping mom out. But like,
I thought he was just like licking this for the moisture or something.
yeah, like maybe I don't know. But
no, if he's slapping and getting to a fight, no, he thought I would think it was his girlfriend
himself,
and
maybe.
it started to cheat on it.
Yeah, like something happened. There was a lot that happened in that moment. And by the time I had asked him, like, if he was okay, like, he was about to full out, like, fucking punch the door for the damn cooler. And I was like, sir, are you all right? And he goes, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just getting some chocolate milk. And I'm like, dude, that's one hell of a fucking conversation with that chocolate milk.
So that tells me he didn't know that you were watching him either. So no survival skills at all. He can't put the eyeballs on his head.
No, and the dude, like, I could see the whites of his eyes from, like, the side of him. So he could have if he was looking, but he was more concentrated on that beautiful woman in that cooler that I don't know, maybe he was in love with himself and that's what was going on. He just hated himself for the sins he created.
Love-hate relationship with myself. I like to make out with myself and then beat myself up for my mistakes.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We had another. I have a lot of weird ass stories like that. I worked at a CVS over in Evansville. Over in Evansville for a while. I moved over there for a bit. I've lived in like 3 different states, so it's like.
Yeah, that's about as many as I've lived in.
I'm kind of all over the place, but over there in that city, I worked at CVS. And we get a lot of those people like that in there. You just kind of had to be patient with them to an extent. Like, not like a sped or a child, but you just kind of had to, like, give them a minute and then be like, okay, go away now. Bye. But we had this guy, I called him Captain Kirk. He was a nice guy. We always come in and he'd be, like, fucking livid on something. And he always wanted to rap about Jesus, talk about Jesus and stars and something else. Nice guy. I mean, he had neat things to say about it. It
Jesus and stars.
Yes. And
talk about nighttime stars, or we're talking Hollywood stars.
Acid.
Yeah,
no, the nighttime stars. That was his big thing too. He'd be like, I found some stuff. You can see his eyes. I'm like, okay, Kirk. You get on, Kirk. And then one time we had a dude, it was so cold out, we had a dude rob us with nothing, just his hand in his pocket. And I come to work and there's like 8 cops outside the store. Like everyone's huddled back in the office. I'm just walking in through it. I'm like, hey guys, what's going on? Can I clock in? He's like, yep, go back to the office. Why'd they let you walk in? I was like, I don't know. What's going on? And they're like, well, we're getting robbed. we're getting robbed. And it was like the guy just wanted to go to fucking jail because it was warmer in there than it was outside at the time, which is kind of a sad story in and of itself. But yeah, it's just oddball crap like that. I'm like, this is nice.
Wouldn't it make it easier if, like, I understand that jails do have a certain amount of people, but if you're that kind of person, you should be able to just walk into a police station and say, hey, listen, if I don't get a place to stay, I'm going to commit a crime so that I go to jail. So how about you just put me in jail now? I don't have to commit the crime. And then, I could just be here for a couple of days, charge me for it, whatever you guys got to do. And then
I'll be okay. I'll take a shower, take a piss, be on my way.
Yeah. When I'm here in a couple of days, let me go. I'll tell you that I'm not going to commit the crime no more.
Yeah. Like I won't do it. after that moment,
and if I do get ready to do, guess what? I'll come and tell you guys.
Yeah, again, and I'll get another day in jail, and I'll get another shower and another meal.
I don't have to actually go and fucking petrify people for their day.
Just
traumatize
just
them.
outside slapping the shit out of people, screaming at them. Just
like,
wait until they show up, and you're like, who?
I
and
can
then
imagine,
the cops
like,
show up, and you're like, yes,
Getting robbed would be petrifying.
It is,
yet,
when you don't
like,
know
you
that
get the
you're not.
adrenaline hits too. Like,
only in that moment they were all like, and I'm like, hi guys, what's happening? It's a good day outside. They're like, get the fuck in the office now. And I'm like, okay, all right. So then I'm back there like walking through like I think anywhere from like 10 to 16 cops just reeking. And they're all eyeing me, and I'm like, there must be a skunk outside. I don't know what happened. And we get back to the office, and everybody in the thing like, somebody smells like a fart, but if it was an herb. And I'm like, I don't know who it is. And then the nurse lady, like, right beside me, like the head assistant for our pharmacy is like, it's really strong right here. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know who that is. But I'm like, oh, good gosh. And then I worked the rest of that shift. We didn't close down. They took him to jail, and then we worked the rest of the day.
Yeah, it's a wild way to like go to jail. I don't know.
It's a wild concept to use jail for.
Yeah, that like, yeah, but also I just think that they're. I mean, wouldn't it just easier to just go hit somebody?
Like, yeah,
just to punch somebody and just be like.
That's like finding out you're like your significant other cheated on you, and then you just fucking just beat the piss out of the stepdad, and then when they show up and they ask why, they're like, oh, I understand, and then you're like, can I go to jail now? And they're like, yeah, you can. You're also paying for his hospital bill too. No, he's okay. It's understandable. His stepdad's like, it hurts. But it's like,
like I just go into a McDonald's and just push the register over.
Yeah, like if it was
just
me,
that, just be disorderly conduct to where it's like just
shit. If it was me, in all honesty, I would walk into the precinct like the fucking like the receptionist desk for the penitentiary, and then just drop my pants.
See,
hope to God that the receptionist is a female, so that way it's more offending. And they're like, just not only.
I thought about this, like, just go take a piss out in front of the police station.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you get registered as a sex offender, and that's kind of fucked up.
Oh yeah.
So that wouldn't be like the thing that I would recommend either, because of that. But you just go in there and just start beating on the fucking glass and the walls. It's a disorderly conduct. That's all. That's what you got to get charged with. And you're going to jail.
About that, I was like,
just act crazy.
If I can't streak, I was like, if I can't streak, then the next thing is backhanding whoever's at the front desk.
Get down on your ass and rub your ass on the floor like a dog, with pants on. Even you
grab the front door handle and you just start smashing your forehead into it.
Just act insane. They gotta do something with you.
At that point, you just kind of like paying. The rest of the way out, it's kind of like, they don't have that's what I've thought about. I'm like, if I go crazy and I'm like, I need to go somewhere before I actually hurt someone, my warning sign is like the red flag is just going to be me naked in the middle of the road running as fast as I can screaming. If I trip and get fucking road burn on my beater, then that's what's going to happen.
Just picture the scene where Peter hurts his knees.
It's just ooh,
just in the middle of the road.
And then the neighbor's like, "Are you okay with that?" And I'm just kind of like, "Yeah." Where'd I get you? You don't want to know.
Well, actually, talking about sex offenders, I actually one of the stories I was brought
Ooh.
up is this thing called Wiz,
In order for me to
and
do that, I'd have to like trip both my toes and drag my toenails on the.
it's kind of what I picture. Is like you just kind of like,
Oh, and then
and
slid like a half-ass penguin. Oh my god, that hurts in my brain. That hurts a lot in my brain. My bad.
you're fine. Is this thing called Wiz, and it's Tinder for kids.
What?
It's a friendship finder app,
Okay.
but you swipe right and left,
All right.
and it's for kids for like 12 to 17 or something like that.
Why?
I,
You can't take
Freaks.
your
I
kid.
don't know.
I mean, I understand it to an extent, but like, you can't take your
No,
kid to the playground.
I
You can't like they
they
don't
don't
do
have
that thing.
school.
Yes, exactly.
Called school where yeah, it's
Like if it's a private kid and that's their system of get between each other, have at it. That's
the
different.
problem
But like,
is that what I from what I
I
seen and
don't
what I
know.
know is that a lot of them like their
Or
profiles are like
homeschool.
a profile picture, and then it says don't send. And what they're referencing apparently is that people are asking
These
each
small
other
children for other things
not
other
only
than
other than yeah not
friendship.
only yeah that's where the sex offender thing there's a lot of sex offenders that
Hey.
get in there and start asking them for nudes, but also the teenagers themselves are also saying
Doing
that
it
they will
between them
trade,
to other,
yeah, they'll trade nudes of each other,
or they'll fucking
and it's
bid it
like
off to the highest dollar to
and it's like
Chomo
what are we
McGee.
doing for to these kids, man? They're already getting just
Yeah, like it's
inundated of like
so that's my thing to an extent. Like we in the 1800s, we were at a point where it was okay as soon as, and I do not believe this model or this catchy little phrase, but it was very much in the 1800s, and when we moved over here, since our cultures began, I'm pretty for sure, other than arranged marriages, but it's like we've been a culture where, as a planet Earth, from what I understand, it's like as soon as she bleeds, it's time to make children.
yeah they start getting the urges for it. And yeah,
Well, and not only
it's not
that,
just
but
that.
like in the
It's
1800s, it's like the parents ship them off to go get
oh yeah
married
yeah
at like
like as soon as
13,
they get yeah
14 type shit.
yeah because they're now officially a woman. This is the
And man or
yeah
whatever.
they
It's
were
wild.
wrong on that. They thought that those were the best years to try and
Because it's
have
ripest. It's when
kids.
it's
Yeah,
beginning, and I can
I
understand that
understand the
in a
logic behind it, but they were wrong. But
exactly,
I can understand.
exactly
They didn't know shit
at all.
Yeah, they still very
Uh,
ignorant on science and all that.
I mean, we kind of are now. We're a little less worse, but we're in other
Yeah, oh
areas.
yeah, oh we're not we don't have it figured out at all. Hell, I just heard something about this guy who's a military man who was talking on a phone call to somebody, and they were basically saying that they have the capability of building a craft that is 210 times faster than the light of speed.
Why? For one, I mean, bragging rights, obviously, but like, what the fuck do you need? Are we going to space?
Yeah, that's yeah. That well, what he's saying is he went and he's seen these things that were called instantaneous nuclear payload delivery systems, and they were saucers. They were like flying saucers in a military hangar, or well, Lockheed Martin, so military contractor building. And so he's saying that they're essentially you can put a nuke on it and then have it wherever you want it instantaneously.
So it's teleporting. It's not traveling.
It's essentially teleporting because
Does it phase through things, or does it have to be
no,
a clear path?
I think from what I understand, I don't know about
My
this
bad.
particular craft. That's
Right.
fine. But from what I do understand, this is a topic that I do. I'm very deep into the alien shit. From what I understand is they manipulate gravity around it. They basically create a gravity bubble, and that gravity bubble isn't constrained to our gravity and our space time continuum necessarily. So it's able to move through our space time continuum, and it can look it could be traveling at 1 mile an hour in its time, but it will be going 50,000 miles in our time.
Right,
It'll only be 1 mile an hour on like in its own bubble,
its own plane of existence.
so it'll be like slowly traveling across the surface of the Earth, moving through whatever they need to do, and then but to us it's like instantaneously.
I get you.
So to us it's instantaneously. To the people that are in the craft, it might not be instantaneously because they move at a
different time dilation than we
yeah.
are watching.
So like
them.
when you get closer to a black hole, time slows down.
Or like the difference in the
time,
biometric pressure.
Time for you slows down. Time for anything outside the black hole speeds up.
Right. I get that. So yeah, it's like the difference between the like gravity pressure inside of the cockpit for the plane, and then the biometric pressure of the Earth on top of that plane.
Yeah.
It's just with time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's how they move instantaneously. To us, it's instantaneously. To whoever's inside that bubble, it may not be instantaneously. I don't know.
I can get that. It could be, but you would have to think so. Or if not, that person would have to have either a lot of ADHD and training, or just a lot of training.
Well, I imagine it probably travels fast. It's probably not like the 1 mile an hour that I gave. Right. It probably travels at like 200 miles an hour, but it's in the air like a plane.
So there's no restriction other than the air molecules itself.
You just have to watch out for other planes. And that's pretty much the only thing you'd have to watch out for. So they could pretty much go in a straight line to anywhere on the world,
as long as they're high enough and have the right
out of the plane's trajectories, and it would almost feel instantaneous to them because of they're going 200, 300 miles an hour, if not more.
I mean, shit, they could be in China
in their own space bubble. To us, they may be going
5 minutes
the speed of light.
Yeah.
So it may take them like 3 minutes to circle Earth. To them, and then it's like instantaneously to us.
Yeah, but and so there's a lot of thought process with that. But it feels like we're like the society. On our last before that topic, it feels like we're kind of reverting. Like it got to a point where people were like, "No, don't do that, don't do all this." But then, like around the time I was a teenager, and I know it was happening beforehand, but it was like. It seemed to happen like ridiculously prevalently when I was in high school. We always had kids or people that were like, yeah, we had like 5 kids that were already pregnant by our senior year, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh no, Henderson County was very much the same way. Probably about 5 by the 5 or 6 at least in my grade.
And then that
were pregnant by the end of senior year. So and I think that's.
I mean, I'm 24, and I'm at the point now where it's like most of the gals that I see, if they're not like not mentally unhinged, but if they're not like free spirited, then like I'm doing cosplay and doing all this and having hobbies, they're like, I've got 2 kids and I have a bunch of. Like they're doing decently well for themselves. They have a PhD or some college education.
That's kind of what I see too. Is
but it's young very girls, much like 25 to 75.
They almost have like 2 branches, maybe 3 branches that they seem to go after teenage years. Is they go straight into the traditional roles as much as possible. They want to be a mom. They want to be a wife, or they just end up being a mom and a wife. Yeah. Or they can do the thing to where it's like I have to like try not to have kids.
I have to
because I have to I have to pursue my goals, my interests, my
make sure I'm set up.
Listen,
exactly.
This may be different for women. I'm sure it is. But as a dad who has kids, my kids aren't stopping me from pursuing what I want to do.
Exactly.
Like,
we're here doing this.
Right here. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And it's like if I end up meeting a person who does have kids, yeah, I would like to eventually have my own. But if I come into a person who has already had that situation and doesn't want more, it's like, well, and I don't mean this in like a selfish, like asshole-ish way. It probably come out that way, but like someone has to love them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's a. And I'm not saying they have to have a father dealio, or they have to have that person there. But it's like
those studies,
if I find that person
it
that needs too much,
does show that studies do show that with a father in the household, a father figure in the household, children do not go to prison as often. They graduate more often, at least from high school. They do tend to do they stay out of, like I said, out of jail. They they do benefit from a father figure in the
right.
household, which is why I don't have no problem with my ex having somebody around. I just hope that it's not like a constant different kind of thing, like different guys constantly necessarily.
I get you.
But if
I
it's a
get you.
constant guy, that's awesome. That I'm really, even though my
She has
kids do
found that
have,
other consistency.
yeah, even
and
though my
stability in
kids
her
do
life.
have me in their life as well. Like I live in the same town. I'm right here. I talk to them almost daily, or at least every other day. And so like
They
they
can
have
go
me.
home and have that sense of that
Yeah,
at
but
that
I
place
also,
too,
yeah, just that having that extra
wherever they go. Kind of
discipline,
deal.
whatever it is that a father brings. I don't think it's just discipline. I think it's also a matter of teaching them how to emotionally be mature in the aspect of like emotional maturity. To some people are like you're open with your feelings. You're able to no. Sometimes emotional maturity is dealing with the feelings, doing what needs to be done, and then dealing with the feelings.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
do the stoicism.
Address
get
and
your shit.
assess.
Get shit situated, and then afterwards,
have a mental breakdown in the
yeah,
closet.
right before you go to
seeing.
bed, you fucking shed a couple tears as you're laying down, like that kind of shit. Like
You go out.
sometimes that's emotional maturity. Don't fucking flip out and get to a fight as soon as somebody pisses you off.
Yeah.
Like learn to like be like, okay, is there another way we can deal with this real quick? And if not, then have the fortitude to stand up and do what you need to.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
also don't make that your first reaction just because they said one stupid thing to you
that you didn't like. That
yeah,
exactly. It's like have a level head, but also pick your fights responsibly. It's like knowing to be like, okay,
yeah,
all right, and then be like, that isn't what I said. That isn't what I thought.
yeah, because it's emotional people that go to jail for getting into fights and shit like that. They get, oh, you call me a bitch? All right, we're going out.
Yeah, like, they get to the point where they don't have that mental filter, that mental to emotional filter in their. No offense to them, it's not that they are childlike or they are immature, but it is the same sense of it's a childlike rage that is unfiltered and unleashed in an adult grown body. So it is very much
sometimes you got to do what you got to do, but dangerous world out there. I mean, look at Wiz for Tinder for kids.
Address and assess. Yeah, like that's my kind of
insane.
Like why would you? Why like and then
and then they were taken down at one point because there were so many complaints and reports about pedophiles on there.
Why would you advocate that for the fact of it in the first place? Like most of the people that I see on here, or that on the ones so like don't show your kids. Don't we don't. It's not that we don't want to know you have them, but they don't need to. Like there's some people on here. They don't need to see that you have kids. And I mean, it's not vice versa. If you're proud of your kid, you want to show your kid, that's fine. But like, there are some weird ass people. Again, I don't mind kids. I'm great with kids. I'm great with pets. I'm a fucking shaman for anything that lives. I can pet it, get it to come up and be calmed down for the most part. But like, why? Yeah. I don't know. Unless your kid's like doing what we're doing.
It's not the same society it was.
And I know
it's not a high trust society. You gotta look at everybody with a little bit of suspicion until they prove their worth. So yeah, I get what you're saying. You definitely there are weirdos.
But I don't. Not only that, but yeah, it's like with this society it's like at one point we were like, okay, wait until marriage, wait until you're past 21, so you're not an adult or 18. And now we're getting to the point to where it's like the same kind of crap. You have 18, 19-year-olds that like have 2-year-old kids, and like,
yeah.
And I mean, if it works out, what have you, then have at it.
And I can, but because like, I know.
I don't know. I feel like
their grandpa lost his virginity super early, so I know that losing your virginity and all that, like has been early. Always
throughout history. Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. There are instances.
This is why I've got a radical stance.
It feels like
I feel like sex before you're 18 should just be illegal. Now, that doesn't mean that you get put into jail. No, no, no. But
Proper procedure.
if it
Where
is found out that you do, if you have had sex, um, then you get a fine. You have to do like community service, something to where you have to like provide for the community. It's a deterrent. It's simply a deterrent.
hey,
It has nothing to do with actually like punishing them.
It's like a hey, no,
it's not on their permanent record. It's just a thing to where like, hey, yeah.
Don't do that.
Not
Spend
even the
3
fine.
hours and pick up some trash
You're
in
gonna
the
do
park.
some community service now, so we're just gonna have all these kids who have fucked in community.
and you take them into an elderly home and have them like sing choir, or like cook them lunch,
Just
or like sweep the bathrooms out, and they're all like, "Hey."
it's a radical stance. I just feel like, if you can't make the decision, you can't make the decision with each other or not. I just think that it's
if you do it, if you're like a responsible person and you do it and it's the right time and all that nonsense, then fine. If you guys are, if it's not, I'm not saying if it's a perfect situation, but if both of you are in consensual agreement and you're not hurting each other and you don't hurt each other and stop when stop is stop and all that nonsense, then it's fine. I would honestly say at the age of like 15. When you're already starting to get a car, you're already going out places.
Yeah.
Like you're probably honestly, not that you're meaning to, whatever, but you're probably honestly, if you're going to be out by yourselves, if you're not
you're
necessarily, if you're doing adult things,
you're starting to do adult things at that point.
Then you're going to do other adult things that appeal to you.
Yeah.
Sex, drugs, whatever, that being those things.
And I can't say much. I was like 16 and some change or something like that.
19?
So, like, I can't say too much at all. Like, 19 is when I think that was when she got pregnant with my first kid. So, so I can't say much. As a teenage dad myself,
and it's
like almost teenage dad. I think I was like 20 when he was born.
And my dad was 20. My mom was 21. Yeah. So like it's again, if fate be the way fate be, and it's what happens. But if it's one of those things that you, I guess, have that kind of control over, it's things are gonna happen either way.
Not that I would ever push for the law to actually be like that, but that's would be my suggestion, to be able to keep it down. Like,
I'd castrate him. I'd put fucking
listen, as a hypothetical,
GPS cock rings
as a completely hypothetical, maybe this happens, maybe it doesn't. I find out that my kids have sex before 18. I may or may not hypothetically punch them in the face, but that's just my parents.
Oh yeah, they're lucky if I don't like sweep kick them and accidentally knock them out with the doorknob.
Just because
why does he have a black eye and a broken ankle?
I will tell them that as soon as they start hitting 13, I will tell them that every month. Every fucking month they will get told, hey,
I don't know, why is your son's penis wet with my sister's my daughter's juice?
That is not tolerable for me.
What is your kid doing? What are you teaching your kid? We didn't teach him that. Shut up, George. You want beat too?
No, we love comedy.
Yes, yeah.
We did talk about this a little bit at work the other day, but
it is catchy. But yeah,
the Black Barbie.
Yeah.
There's a story I read. This woman was going in looking for a Barbie that was black for her, I guess for her daughter, I'm assuming. I believe that's what the story said. I can't remember the entire story. But point is, she went in looking for a black Barbie. And then she realized that every one of them happened to be disabled, like with a disability. And one of them, what threw me off the most was, she was like, one of them was blind and one of them was diabetic. How are Barbies diabetic? They're made of plastic already. Like there's no organs.
Like I told you, there's some kind of
blindness. No Barbie can see.
Well, yeah, that's why she's blind. Okay, so the diabetes and the blindness, you know what that was? That was we started running out of ideas. That was we can't break her hand and make her have arthritis or cerebral palsy.
Yeah, I mean,
You get her out of the box and her like hand is forever stuck like this. You can only like you can only like move her hand back and forth or her arm, but her hand's always like.
But we could have figured out something. Would you go old school with the shit? Hunter gatherer, fucking Barbie, Ken.
Oh, I think they did have like a caveman Barbie, but so like on that, when I was about, let's see, I was going to the high school, so I was probably about 16, 17. About. And we were riding to the school bus, or riding to school on the school bus, and on the radio, they, on that kind of gist of that, they told us that they came out with a new line of realistic career Barbies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what, I mean,
like a dentist, or
yeah,
a veterinarian,
yeah,
or a plumber,
yeah.
or a corner person.
Okay. Do you know how many people out of each town become any of those things?
Exactly.
Like, especially in a small town. Like, maybe if you're talking a big city, sure, there's a few dentists out of that big city.
One of them was a gas station clerk, actually. Like,
you get into a small town,
McDonald's worker.
There might be 2 dentists that come out of that
one of them,
generation. Like,
one of them was a like plus-sized doll, and it had acne. That you could like, they said you could squeeze it and it would like come out. Yeah, and it like, yeah, and then we both thought when they said the corner person, I was like, oh, they work at a corner store. No, they do not work at a corner store. They work at the corner, on the corner.
Street.
Yeah.
Street girl.
Yeah. And I was like, who? What? And then the guy on the radio was like, that is realistic. And they're like, here, honey.
Well, I'm surprised they haven't made the OF Barbie all this.
Oh, they probably have.
They gotta have an OnlyFans Barbie then. Oh. But also on this topic of the blind one, couldn't every Barbie be blind for the blind girl?
Like that's
you just give her the dark, it'll be like it's blind. It's not like it's got braille over the eyes saying blind.
Yeah, like it's you, and that's my thing too. It's like that's kind of what made me think that they started running out of ideas, because I'm like every doll's blind. Every doll's like, are you gonna put out a Barbie doll that's like you put clothes on it, but then underneath it's like those, those mannequins they have in the doctor office. It's like it's got the organs that you can pull out, and like you can pull the face off and see the eyeball and the muscles. Yeah, like one of those. Like what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
You want to like make a black diabetic Barbie doll? You could, like, they invested so much in doll houses, they could have done that by now.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, if they're going to represent everything, I'm waiting on the furry line.
A little spring-loaded socket button, and then the pancreas just comes popping out of that thing.
Furry line, or I want a flat-chested Barbie that's got a bulge. For my kid that I may or may not be trans. They're still young. They may be trans. Yeah. They may need. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe he doesn't want a G.I. Joe. Maybe he wants.
Just saying.
Kenneth.
I don't know.
Mule. Kenneth Mule. There you go.
Stories like that. That's like, what are we doing? Why do we need? Barbie was made a certain way. Just make her that way. And if you want a different type of Barbie, don't make a Barbie. Make it a different type. Make it something else. There's Bratz. There's, you just make a different type of Barbie that is a Barbie essentially, but different, and then.
Or make it customizable. Yeah, like make it to like a, I don't know.
Yeah, make it a paper white Barbie, and it comes with a set of colors for you to color it in.
Yeah.
And it comes with interchangeable limbs and eyeballs.
Like
it's like a potato head. Yeah,
for
potato Barbie. And you get to color it your way. You get it interchanged to make sure if they got one of those wing arms or whatever, you put a wing arm on the Barbie doll for your kid, or
it's not like they don't do it with D&D or Warhammer. Yeah, it's like there you go. You just have a small army of Barbie.
Then you can have it exactly represent your child as an adult.
The child comes out and it's got like fingers.
Which is another thing. Like your child's playing with adults. Not all adults are the same. That's okay. She should be open to playing with other adults that are not like her. That's okay. Don't play with them the way you play with Barbies, though. That's gross.
Yeah, that leads to cases, guys. Do not do that. Do not tell people you're playing family and you're demonstrating how you touch that Barbie. No. It's not work that way. So now that we've gotten past that, what was that?
I don't know.
I'll be right back. He'll be right back. He'll be right back. But it's like, and he'll be back to answer this. I'll repeat it again, probably, because that's how that works. But with the UFO thing that they've made here, it's like wait. He said they use nuclear energy, so it's a UFO propulsion. Does that mean that it uses the energy from the nuclear engine or nuclear power source to spin the thing, the fins or whatever it is, so fast so it hovers? Like it creates an air pocket on the air itself, and then it just moves like that? I really hate to see if I fucking have any brain cells and then you guys are like, we're going to use them. We're going to patent them. We're going to take them from you. That's completely fine. If it helps the world, that helps the world. But just let a dude know. Just so I have a little bit of a knowledge of what I've done with myself. So that way me and the deities at the end are on the same page. No, but like, or does it like heat it up to the point to where it creates an air pocket? So with our little UFO thing here, and you probably don't. God damn it, I did it again. You probably don't know necessarily.
Oh shit! I think I just heard everything that was going on out there.
Oh, that's good. That's great.
That's
part of it.
That's part of being live, not being an amateur at this shit.
With our UFO thing, I was like, how would you think the engine would work? Like, how do you think the nuclear power would be distributed and or?
No, it's not nuclear. I don't believe it's nuclear. If it's a nuclear, it's fission, not fusion. Because the way that the Tic Tac was able to say in the 2017 New York Times piece, the way it was there for hours. It's too small to have a nuclear reactor within it that would be able to power it that long. So I don't think it's nuclear power. From what I understand, so Bob Lazar's got a theory where it's element 132, unobtainium. I believe that's what it's called.
Gotcha. So how'd they get it if it's unobtainable?
So he says that they have a stable version of it. And he said this in like the 80s or 1980 or so, somewhere around there. He was one of the first people to come out about Area 51. He worked there, is what he's claiming. And he's kept the same story for 40 years now. He's been raided by the FBI several times. He also did have a brothel at one time, so that was part of it.
I love how I love our society and it's like mad scientists, and then they're
Yeah.
like,
Well,
they
he
were also
also
a Ferrari
he
collector.
put a jet engine on a Honda, like a jet
Oh
engine.
my god! Like I mean,
Like full on, yeah, kind of mad scientist kind of guy, which is like why he says he got asked to come on there and to try to understand the propulsion system of a retrieved craft. Is because he's kind of out there.
in general, so he
So
may have
he's
some
like,
kind
yeah,
of thing to
some radical view of it, yeah.
some point
But
of view.
he said that they've got a stable version of it. Now this element actually wasn't found until years later, and they were only able to make unstable parts of it now. This is the Large Hadron Collider, which smashes particles together at almost the speed of light. Um, and they're able to make it for a brief amount of time, and then it kind of destroys itself or decays.
Disintegrates. I
Yeah.
get you.
Um, but he even says that he has a piece of it or had a piece of it that he was able to get out of Area 51. George Knapp's got a video of it. Um, and essentially what it would do, it would, so there would be a saucer shaped craft. The craft would tilt on its side and create essentially a vacuum this way, and then it would spew out material this way. But what it essentially does is, like I said, it makes a gravity shield of some sort,
Underneath
and basically it slides down gravity because it pulls the gravity this way.
like
And
those
so it
water
like, yeah,
crafts
exactly.
that had the bubble thing underneath
Yeah.
it is just without the fucking jacket that
Yeah,
helps it stay that way.
and the outside that rotates would be invisible because the craft itself stays in a stable position like this, goes this way.
Right.
But yeah, the gravity is essentially just getting pulled down, and it's like surfing or falling.
Using the
gravity.
air as
Yeah.
wheels.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's his version of it. The Vimanas from the Hindu text, and other people who have said that they've worked on retrievals, something to do with rotating mercury. There's some sort of electromagnetic current that's put through it, and then you rotate mercury a certain direction, um, in some sort of like donut. It's got to be like a donut. It's not a tube. It's not like a tube. It's like a donut that it has to be rotated in, and that produces
like the craft
anti-gravity.
Is this way. It has to be.
Yeah, it's
not.
No, it's more like so it's not just like just a tube. It also has another tube inside there that the mercury doesn't go in, so it's almost like in a donut shape. As the mercury's got to rotate in this donut like.
I get you. It's a
shape of some sort with a hole in the middle.
I get you.
And that's what creates the. I don't know exactly. This is a little bit further,
theory.
Yeah, further down than I understand. But this is one of the other theories, is that even in the Vimanas from the ancient Hindu texts that describe exactly how to build these craft, say that these craft flew through the skies, that the gods were in them, and they would fight with essentially nuclear weapons and lasers. This is in a Bible, a Hindu Bible. Fuck, I can't remember what it's called right now. Yeah, the Quran, but I think there's another
Torah.
No, I'm not sure exactly, but I know that it's called they're called the Vimana, and they also claimed rotating mercury as well as how those craft. And then more than likely, some of our craft that are like what I would call recreation vehicles probably do use some sort of nuclear power. But I also think that there are some of them that have tapped into what they call the zero energy point, or the zero energy point. And essentially, it's Stephen Greer talks about this quite a bit. He's got a few documentaries that are pretty good, unacknowledged. And he's kind of like kicked out of the mainstream UFO stuff now. He's not looked at like as great as he was, but he still brings to light some amazing shit. Amazing shit. Unacknowledged was awesome. But he basically talks about this creation that's able to, so in an atom, the electrons go around
Yeah.
the atom, and there's some sort of energy that propels those electrons.
Yeah.
They can't. That doesn't just energies.
There's some
So
kind
what
of
it does is
electron force
essentially
before.
it taps into that kind of energy that you can't see, but it exists, and it generates energy from almost nothing.
I
So
get
you
you.
get electricity, or you get a flying craft from the vacuum of space, or from quantum mechanics. I don't know exactly, but it's the ideal. That's another energy source that they might use, that they probably do use.
I could get that. That makes sense. Oh, it's yeah. It's I
Yeah,
don't
I go
know.
down huge rabbit holes with the whole aliens
I was thinking with the
shit.
nuclear energy that they had to like they would have to burn it at such like a high frequency for one to get it to spin out of there. But they like my thought was is that they had this like panel that rotated on the bottom, and there was like fins, like a I don't know, just the little fucking rudders that came out of the bottom, and like that it just spun at a ridiculous speed while the jet fuel, the nuclear fuel was coming out of it, and it just that's how it worked. It was just an engine built off of that, and then they
I'm sure they've tried something like that. That would be a lot of like what a jet engine is, kind of, where it shoots out the fire. Even in that, though, it's got a rotating thing.
yeah
That,
inside the
yeah,
deal, yeah, that kind of concept,
yeah.
honestly,
But I think that once you get to a certain rotation speed, you have to have an extreme amount of lubricant or coolant
yeah,
to keep the metal from warping or anything like that. If it's
the bolt bearing
yeah,
that's holding all that has to be big and strong enough.
yeah,
Like it has to be heat resistant for the friction.
yeah.
It has to be a certain grade to be able to handle the shit without snapping off.
And see, like one of
That's a
the
high amount
recreation
of
vehicles
fucking
that I
shit.
do know, and this is how it doesn't have some sort of normal propulsion, because it's called the TRB 3, TRB 3. Maybe I think that's what it is, or two, TRB 2 or TRB 3. But essentially, it's a giant, like almost football field size triangle, and it's got these three ports or lights on each one of the points, essentially, that go down. But it's like a thick triangle. It's like a slice of cheese, football field size almost.
Like the thing off of Star Wars.
It's similar, very similar to that. Yes, like
Okay,
it's a triangle, and it's got multiple levels within the triangle, and it's the size of a football field almost.
and then it has pores coming
And
out
then
of
yeah,
the
and
bottom for
but
the
it
engine.
moves completely silent. There's no noise. You might be able to hear like a cackling noise. It's almost like electricity, like a
Oh, I get you the
like
actual
yeah, like you rub a balloon on your
static.
head or something, like static electricity. But for the most part, it's almost completely silent. That's what a lot of people say. So it's like it's not a normal engine of like power of some sort. That's like so it's got to have some sort of anti gravity, or they've got fucking amazing insulation, like noise canceling insulation.
Yeah,
Like that may be but I think something that big.
it's either noise cancellation or it is like it's so loud that it's at a noise we can't register.
Yeah, oh yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, like what, like a dog whistle
Well,
kind of
yeah, like kind of
situation.
past that. Yeah, like it's at a frequency where it's so much fucking pressure just out of that big of a hole that it's just lost in the abyss.
And so like,
But that's like
and Bob Lazar said that there's even crash from archaeological digs. So you're talking in the ground.
been here for a while.
Yeah, hundreds of years, if not thousands.
I wouldn't doubt that.
Speaking of, there's a structure. There's a call. There's called the Labyrinth, and it's in Egypt. Um, and it's actually So it was a story from like Herodotus and some other dude. I want to say Miscellaneous, but I'm not sure about that one. That may be Spartacus coming out on me. I've been watching Spartacus lately. But I do know this. Herodotus wrote about it, but it was a structure that was even larger, more grand than the Great Pyramid. And it's essentially like these four levels underground that have these giant slabs of stone as the roof, like perfectly symmetrical. There's supposed to be huge columns that like hold up these walls, and they've actually got these lidar scans of it now, and they have verified that there are the four levels, and that in the middle atrium of it, it's almost like a mall kind of situation where it's like four levels. They all have this atrium area inside.
Yeah.
There's a cylindrical, so like cigar shape or like egg shape almost craft or object. They don't know if it's a craft, but it's a 40 meter. So that's what, 120 feet.
That's enough.
Egg shaped uh, structure inside this atrium, and they believe it's made out of metal. So they were thinking that potentially could be a craft inside this labyrinth that's not been excavated because it wasn't thought to be real. It was thought to be myth for a long time, and they've recently uncovered. And then somebody uncovered some stones, and they're like, "Oh, this is real," but this is the base of where it was. And now they're using these lidars where they shoot these lasers into it. Yeah. Acts like sonar essentially.
They used to, I think I explained it to you one time. It is like sonar. It just shoots. They use it for ice road trekking to tell how thick the ice is when they go across the top of the water.
So it's a proven thing that actually does work.
Yeah, it just all it does is send, like you said, like echolocation or sonar. It sends a heat or a sound vibration through the ground, and then it reads the different frequencies of noise and it gets back of the density of the object or of the how far
they found out that the structure that guy uncovered like in the early 1900s or late 1800s, I'm not sure which one, was the roof. It wasn't the base of the structure that was there. No, it's the roof
of the thing
of the thing that is down below there. And the problem with digging there is that the Nile River overflows there and floods that area. So if you start to dig, you get into the water table. And so what has to be done is they either have to because there's a dam that they built that essentially makes it flood there, or like the water table is higher than what it should be. So what they have to do is they either have to build a big ass wall around it, essentially suck out all the water, and then start to dig underneath there to excavate this area.
Yeah.
Or they have to get the dam tore down and make it to where the Nile doesn't flood that area no more. So it's going to take billions of dollars probably.
Either way.
And so it's will that be dug out in our lifetime? Probably not.
Probably not. No.
But it leads to the credence of what Bob Lazar said about these craft that are found in archaeological sites too, if that is a craft, not just like a man-made structure.
So
it could easily be like a man-made structure that they worshipped. They have some sort of, it's painted on or something. Yeah.
So we watched a lot of Nova as kids, and one of them was I think when they were finding out about that stuff and the Egyptians, but the Egyptians, the people in that area, they were known well before our time for not known, but they were known to metalwork. They would smelt gold and copper and usually in trinkets and headdresses and weapons and what have you, but they had the means to melt down and make other objects with metal. So
yeah, they were able to plate things in gold.
You know what I mean? So what wouldn't say that they made that as a casket or something of some sorts, or
it could be Cleopatra and Marcus Aurelius's tomb.
It could just be an accumulation of their fortune instead of just and it could be a craft too. It could be all fucking new. It could be a nuke. For all we know,
but whatever it is,
world
it's definitely,
bomb.
I think, worth exploration. Like, it's worth getting to it.
Yeah, like
you need to find out what that is.
You want to explore the ocean so much more, and we haven't even done that.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, I would think if it was you, I would explore some of the shit that we got dug, you know, on the ground instead of in a whole nother universe of areas of things.
And that's a big, another big passion of mine is,
and I mean,
like archaeology and the fucking digging up shit like that.
Like, it's I understand
ancient megalith structures like that is amazing.
Yes, very Indiana Jonesy kind of person.
Yes,
I get that very much so. But it's like we haven't even touched some parts. Like, we haven't even completed the ground exploration. Why are we going for space? Why are we going for water? You know, it's like, why not? Like, take a breath.
Like, in the Amazon, they're finding out that there was millions of people that lived in the Amazon.
Yeah. There's bushes out there. You don't think they haven't figured out how to hide behind a tree?
Well, it's not even that. They're doing this LiDAR scanning, and they're finding these giant squares, giant circles. They're finding roads to each one of them. So they were probably cities that the forest just took back over.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and they're finding out the Amazon density of like the Brazil nuts and stuff like that is man-made. So it was humans, not we necessarily, but humans that were planting these trees to sustain millions of people. And that's why there's so many food trees in the Amazon.
Yeah.
As opposed to just like forest trees. Like, you go out in the woods here in America,
there's trees. There's just trees.
There's no nut trees, or very few nut trees. Most of them are just fucking trees.
I found a few them damn Buckeye things. They're always covered in them fucking like giant ass orange and green.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. People run over them and they get shot at some kid, then the kid fucking dies.
That's Final Destination 7 right there.
Legitimately, I have seen it. Not the movie. I've seen it happen. Not the kid get killed, but oh my god, that poor kid. He was just walking by and someone drove by him on a truck and he ran over the Buckeye thing like on the outside of his tire, and it rolled and then like shot off on his thing and hit the kid in the knee, and the kid and then just like fell into the ditch. Like, it buckled his knee so goddamn bad. In 2 seconds, his knee clicked with his other one, and he was just 6 feet down in the ditch.
Big ass bruise on him.
He came back up and he was like limping to his house. The thing already fucking swelled up. Starting to be red, and I'm like, jeez. The dude didn't even stop. He just kept going. He's like, I done killed him. He's dead now. He is halfway to a saving Lieutenant Dan.
You were like, oh shit, and then you laughed about it.
I was like, oh fucking A. Oh. And then like the kid just gets up out of the ditch and you just see his head over the edge of the ditch.
Like a fucking meerkat.
Yeah, I'm just like, god damn, man. What the did I
Is the battle over?
He's like, is there any more? And I'm like,
oh, it would have sucked so bad if another car would have rolled by. Hit another one as he's peeking his head up.
So every time I'd walk, the next time through, I'd kick him out of the road.
Yeah.
Oh, that kid never came down our street again. Our dad didn't like him because he would like ride his bike and play his music loud as shit on his like SpongeBob speaker thing. Like, you know the old radios that had like the CD port on the top, and it looked like somebody took a fly's head and just cut it off, put a handle on it. Yeah, one of those little radios, and that's what he would. That was his thing. That's what he would listen to. Yeah.
Instead of walking down the street with a big boom box.
No, it was zip tied to the front of his bike. Yeah. 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 Yeah, he was one of those kids that would say,
you get 10 seconds of this song? You get 10 seconds of this
song. That's not even what it was. He would play like some Afro Man or 50 Cent alphabet, and I'm like, dude.
Cause I gotta.
I'm like, he's like, I don't know. You want to go to the railroad tracks and put pennies on the railroad tracks? and watched them get smushed. He's like, here, look at these. I was like, oh wow, those are neat. And then I went in and told my dad, and he told me what he likes to call a funny story, or a joke that ends up being a true story. So he's like, yeah, you're not going to do that. Get in here. I was like, okay. He goes, so we're not doing that, and I'll explain why. And then he goes, so I had these kids in our town, and they did that. They did. He goes, one day they couldn't find him. I'm like, okay, Dad. He goes, and when they did find him, the sister was holding the brother, crying. They get up to him, and they'd been laying down like this on the ground next to railroad tracks with the pennies sitting up on the railroad track. One of the pennies wasn't sitting on there right, and it slipped off. And it got the kid right in the eye and came out the back of his head, killed him instantly from the railroad tracks. And my dad's like, that's why we don't do that. He goes, I went to go pick him up, and it was just like you saw the penny's rotation through his head, if that makes sense. Like it landed on his eye, like you put the penny on your eye. But then as it went through his head, it like turned, and then like kind of tried to turn, and then didn't, and then just went. He's like, we had to watch a documentary on it later, and they showed us pictures. He's like, that's the only reason I know what it looked like.
Damn.
He was like, I wasn't there for it, but yeah, they put a fence up around that afterwards.
That's what they got me with. So I didn't actually see anything when we did the driving class I had to do in Henderson. They make you watch this video where it's about these teenagers killing themselves and maiming others and killing their friends, but not themselves. And like you have to watch these stories about these people going through that. And I'm like,
was it a church at some point?
No, it was a school.
We might have done something similar to that.
It was through the drive. It was through the BMV. It was a class you had to take to get your license or your permit at 16 or something like that, or at 15. And then you had to take this class, and then it was basically just a trauma stories about parents who lost their kids, and if you have more than one teenager in the car, your chances of dying go up this much percentage.
Yeah.
I was a math guy, and so I was like, holy fucking shit.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Every 10 miles past 50 miles an hour, your chances of a fatal crash go up like 10% or 20%.
Yeah,
I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? And why do we have roads that go 70?
I'm like, we have 3 teenagers in the car, and we're going 50 miles an hour. We're past 100. I was like, I work on, like, my dad, we worked on a lot of the shit we had all around the house, because he was like, I have a mechanic certification, and it's cheaper that way. And most of the time it was. And I learned a lot of shit. Do I want to do it as a lifetime career? No. Am I glad that I know it, though? Yes.
Yeah.
Either way.
See that?
So like I understand, on top of being like understanding the math behind it, it's like I've seen what happens when you slip a fucking brake disc or overheat a fucking rotor too much, and it melts your damn brake pad to your rotor, and then that one tire is locked up because it's automatically always now in brake. Because the fucking, like, once it melts to the rotor, that means you're to your car. It means you're like, when you squeeze on your rotor, or you squeeze on when you push your brakes down, there's they call it a brake caliper. It's a shoe that goes around the inside of your wheel on your rotor. When you squeeze your brakes, there's 2 brake pads in there. They squeeze on the brake pad. They stop the rotor, stop your wheel turning. You slow down. whenever it fucking melts to it like that, it's like it automatically locks. It's starting to get to the point to where it's hot now, to where it's stuck to it. So then if you pull yourself off the brake, it's still stuck to it. It'll roll, but only for till like the next locking, fucking window in the brake caliper, and then your wheels locked up. It's fucked. We've had that happen on the NAS end.
Oh shit! Fucking jerky like a motherfucker. Yeah.
We fucking squabbled to the side of the road. We legitimately just kind of like as the wheel pulled us, and then we. This first time I have that with a spare, but like doing shit like that, when you see the things go wrong or see when things look like when they're broken and they're not supposed to be that way, and you learn why it got that way. It's like, oh fuck. If I push the pedal down all the way, I could bend the push rods in my engine and shoot my fucking piston through somebody's neighboring yard in Oklahoma that shoots an elderly lady.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
No, it's like, yeah, I don't. Cars are a scary thing. It's especially after fucking So I recently got my Jeep up and running, and I've now also found the rim and tire for it that I needed to replace to get it back up and running after this recent incident.
Keep talking. I gotta go see what they want.
You're good. And I decided when I got it up and running, I was going to take it on a drive during the back roads by myself, just relaxing. And then I hit a straightaway. And as most dudes or most people know, when you hit a straightaway in a new car, you get a little wild hair in your rear end and you want to push it. You want to see what it can do. What you shouldn't do, okay, is do it down a gravel road, for one. You will not have the traction and you will not be able to turn. And if you do turn, you will keep sliding, keep turning, keep going until you lose control and you fly off the side of the road into grass that's taller than your car. When you think it's like ankle high, and then you go off the side of the road thinking, oh, we'll just bump, 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 bump. No, you getting like feel the airdrop as you watch your center console go like the Exorcist. It just whoop, that way. Nobody else in the car, thankfully. Landing all on my front passenger tire. Hence the reason why I got to get the rim. But after having something like that happen, as well as working on cars, it's like there's variables, there's reasons, there's limits. You can only go so far with things, and it shouldn't be pushed too much. I see. I understand. So, like I don't know. I guess it's with backgrounds and bringing uppings and all that nonsense, but I feel like you have to have some kind of everybody should have some wherewithal of cars to an extent of how things can fastly fuck up. But I know they give you videos about how it does and what have you, but it's like, I don't know,
Yeah, that was my aspect was like...
Most people don't realize...
What I was brought up was because your dad had seen something that had scared him away from doing that.
Yeah, he also rolled his fucking truck. When he was about my age, he rolled... he had a green Ford F-150, I think. A pickup, either way. And he rolled it one time and then didn't drive it after a while after that. Not because it was broken, just because he got
trauma.
It kind of fucked him up. And I mean, honestly, that kind of fucked me up too.
I've been. That's kind of like what the thing is like.
That's the second
I
one
was
I've
bringing
been
up
in.
is like the trauma of him knowing about those kids with the train tracks is why he was like keeping you from that.
Yeah.
And then they bring trauma for the car to me, and I've already had. I've been in a car wreck when I was real young. My parents had fallen asleep. My stepdad was driving, and then they said my mom was driving because he didn't have license. And I don't actually remember exactly what happened with that crash, but it was bad enough to where like we didn't get to drive that car
Ever again.
anywhere. Yeah, we had to get a ride
Yeah.
because the car was trashed.
And it may be the case with
And
this one once I get the battery charged. Thank you. Why?
my stepmom peanut butter balls, Oreo balls.
My mama loves us.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. Tell her thank you on the way out.
And then there's another wreck where like basically front into a tree. I was pretty young then too. Like I remember the arm across my chest. So we went over the ditch into the tree, over the ditch into the tree. And I think those are the real bad ones that I had. But I was kind of fucked up about them too. Yeah, I'm petrified of cars. Like I'll drive.
I'll be safe.
You gotta be what you do. But
yeah,
for the longest time I was like very scared of them. Yeah.
Driver awareness. I mean, I'm not saying don't.
So remember, there are meth heads like we were talking about earlier. Meth heads.
And they do drive. They make vans. They make vans. Let me tell you. Not only do they drive, they're known for this thing called ingenuity. Where they decide that they're going to bypass the ECM in your car and make it to where not only do you have to turn the key ignition to start the van, you have to push a push to start engine start button, and then you have to push a switch to turn your coolant fan on. So it sounds like we're starting up like a mini-sized fucking like Star Trek escape pod.
Flipping all the switches in the cockpit.
Yeah. You gotta set the visor down when the sun's
up
in your eyes. You gotta fucking like readjust the damn mirrors, and then you gotta like put the key in, turn it, push the button at the same time. Like you have to fucking like hold your hand there, to where when it starts you push it, and then it'll start. You let it sit for a few minutes. Okay, and then you go over and you fucking turn the coolant fan on, and then you just hear,
yeah.
And then you're just trucking down the road, going down in that van. It got us from point A to point B for $1,200, but
be careful because think about it. How many people do you know are idiots?
Yeah. Hey, there's two of us here. We're not on that.
So for every idiot, there's two of them driving on the road. Every idiot you know, there's two idiots driving on the road.
Yes, and
you and the idiot you know.
Exactly. Exposed wires that don't look like they should be exposed. That's called the red flag.
Speaking of stories and things that should have been traumatized, but it wasn't. I was thinking about my first weed story the other day. My mom claims it's not true, but I remember it too well. There's no way it's not. So, first time my stepdad got me high. They were the ones who got me high, yes.
I got one for that, but it was not. Go ahead.
We went to Holiday World, of all places, yes. Fantastic place to get your teenage son high for the first time. I was probably like, I don't know, 12, 13.
Honestly, the first time I went to Holiday World? Yeah.
Smoked a joint.
Yeah, I was
so fucking high.
So obviously, since they have metal detectors there, I hid the pen I had before now. Yeah, I had to take that apart and hide it in my where the sun don't shine, and then walk through the park, and then get to the other side, then pull it back out of there, and then screw it back on, and then continue to hit it in the smoking area. And then my friend beside me is like, "You, you actually did that? You could have just put it in the dish, push the thing through, and it would have been okay." I'm like, "You tell me that now. You tell me that now." And now I'm smoking ass weed. And they're like, "I'm not hitting that the rest of the day." I'm like, more for me. Thank you. And they're like, "You're a fucking asshole." I'm like, "It was in my asshole. Where was I supposed to put it?" They're like, "In your inner thigh, but like your dad's." I'm like, "So you want nad juice
Yeah,
on
yeah.
it more than you want butt juice?" Like they're both gross. I could have just put it in my fucking throat and half-ass swallowed it. They're like, "Okay, guys."
So, yeah.
Like on the bench at Holiday World, just like kids are just walking by.
You could have just
"Mom,
put it
look,
in
it's a clown. He's sword swallowing." And I just puke out the little capsule,
It
and
would
they're
have
like,
been funny
"We're gonna die."
if one of the security guys would have walked by and seen you and like, where was that earlier, dude? And you're like, yeah, you could have just put that through the tray. I would
Yeah,
have fine.
yeah, like even the dude comes up and he's saying that like, "It's okay." I'm like, you and him, you and my friend over here, go on, fuck off. You can go to the sink, getting water tube ride that he goes on.
That'd be a good scene from a sitcom. Security guard, dude, what the fuck was that earlier?
Dude, let me take your head off of that. I would have been okay with it. We have the lady next to you. Nah, she's all right, dude. It's. How do you think we work here with children every day?
I walked in that park so high.
We may be
that
16, but
a little bit after we got in there, I was like, I can't see anything. And my dad leans down, smacks me in the back of the head a little bit. Open your fucking eyes, you retard. I was literally walking around going, I can't see. I was blind.
Oh.
A few minutes later, I'm so hungry. My stomach's hurting so bad. Well, yeah, we left. So it's instantly we left.
Oh. My first time was not like that.
Or we at least went back out to the car because it's where we would have lunch. So we definitely went back out to the car so I could eat because they were like, we're not paying for food and
Well,
they can't walk around with you
there,
like
right?
just stoned out of your mind. It's closed.
I'm hungry. Oh, mine was not. There was I worked at Subway at this time, so that's probably what aided that. But we I had this friend. I still talk to them. I talked to them a little bit ago. They're actually well, I'd say not the most well known, but they're decently well renowned musicians. Like they travel around and they do shows and they work with producers and we'll call her
So living their dream.
Huey. Yeah, very much so. From what I understand, they're enjoying their life. They're very her and her or them and their husband Huey. That's right, miss. Your name is Huey for the time being. She'll probably be like, drop my shit. Advertise it. Send them to me. Be like, okay. But no, the first time with her, it was not a good moment. It was a very odd situation. So like she was living in her parents' house at the time, but she was living in the basement with her ex-boyfriend who was with her mom.
Oh, one of those things.
And it was also coming down for other things. It was a whole kind of, I don't know. She was like, you can't hurt anybody. You can't do anything about it. And I was like, nah, okay. Well, I'll just sit with that knowledge. No offense to her either way. She's a very nice person. Very nice person. Nothing against her. Not to spread her business out there. But I was in the house with all of those people in there. She had a brother and a sister as well. A dog or two? I remember a dog. Either way. So the first time I came there to hang out, but the first time it was we would go down to the basement and she's like, have you done this? I was like, Dad's done it, but I don't. She's like, well, do you want it? I was like, well, I'll give it a try. See what it's, what have you. All right. So we're sitting down there and we're getting this like pipe, like a pipe. All right. And I'm getting to do like I'm to the point, like when you get to that point where your brain feels warm. You know what I mean? Like you feel like the inside of your skull over your actual brain membrane, you're wearing a sock hat. Like I don't know how to explain it, and you're just like, this dark basement looks a little different.
Yeah.
And I mean, it wasn't a bad environment. It wasn't a bad situation, but I had to go home at some point. I left like my phone and my wallet. Mm. So I'm like making sure I got everything when I don't. Yeah, so I'm going to leave. And I'm like running out of their base. Their basement has like a garage door that opens up. So you can get out of the house through the bottom of the without disturbing people. So I'm leaving. And I forget my wallet, my phone, and I'm like running halfway up the hill, and I'm hearing someone call for me down at the bottom of the hill again. And I don't think Huey saw me, but I fucking dripped bigger than shit going down the hill. Because you come out and you go around the house, and then you go up the hill to get back to the road. Okay, so I'm running up that hill to get back to the road, and I realized that she was calling for me, and I come back around like, oh, maybe this is the moment. It was not. She just had my phone in my wallet, so I'm running back. All right, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And as I'm running back, I hit this rock, and it fucking caught me bigger than crap. And I just for like 5 feet down the hill, and then she's like,
penguin fly.
And then down this hill, just slid, and then all I hear is, Hunter, where are you at? Hunter, are you still here? Oh, maybe I'll give it to him tomorrow, maybe. And then I pop up over the fucking rose bushes, just like, oh, I'm okay. And then I'm like, I'm here. She's like, you forgot your shit. I was like, oh, my bad. She's like, you can't lose your shit yet. You're not even home yet. And I was like, fuck. So then I get home, and my dad, the first thing he says is, you fuck? You look paranoid. Did you fuck her? What happened? I was like, no, Dad, but I am really hungry. He's like, what do you guys do? We just sat and watched Archie's, some TV show on Netflix for a little while. After that, they all fell asleep. I left. Let it happen. He goes, why do you look so fucking tired? Go to bed. And then like 4 bags of chips later, $40 worth of chicken tenders. I fucking yeah. No. It was 3 footlongs that night, actually. 3 full good footlongs. I go to turn around and go back to work the next day. I look like a fucking pregnant person. Dude, my stomach was so stretched out. Oh my god. But yeah. So it was a whole deal. They don't know we smoke down here, so you have to be quiet and eat.
1,800 cars or something like that.
I tell you what, I couldn't shit for the next week. And then when I did, it was like, ah! No, I think that's when I was in the high school bathroom later on, and I was like, oh man, this feels like it may be something extremely not so good. And then I'm just sitting in the bathroom, there's 2 other dudes coming in, and I fired a little bit, and I was like, out loud, I was like, release the Kraken, and then just on the inside, and I was like, oh, we're gonna be here for a minute. And they're like, damn it, dude, you're supposed to do that at home. You don't shit at school. And I was like, what are you talking about? What?
Okay, got it.
For one, and another, I was like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. This is happening. And they're like, we're gonna get out of here. And one kid's like, God damn it, stinks. I was like, yeah, it usually does. It was a moment. It was an adventure.
Yeah.
It's definitely a memory for sure.
So that brings me to a story that I'm not proud of telling, but it's at this
She
point with the high school bathroom shit, and I gotta tell it. Yeah.
one of the moments after that, if not that same day, like I was, we went to Golden Buffet or something. Or no,
Golden Corral.
yeah, we went somewhere to eat after we'd just done the exact same thing, and we're making up a board game. That's what we were doing. We are making up a board game. We got hungry, so we went to go eat. And we get back, we're making a board game, and she got tired. She fell asleep on the couch, and I was like, 99. Just kissed her on the forehead, and then just left her there. Her mom's like, "You don't have to stay here. Go home." I'm like, "I'm just here to make sure she's safe, okay? I'll leave at some point." She's like, "Go home." I was like, "Okay." So like 3 o'clock in the morning, I walk home.
Uh,
Memories, times,
yeah.
adventures.
So bathroom story. Uh, this is one of the reasons that I can't be embarrassed because I tell the most embarrassing shit about my own self.
Oh,
So
that's not even the worst, I think, for me.
One day, uh, I went and took a shit in the bathroom, and like those boys said, something that I thought you should do at home, should do it at school. And I was the only one in the bathroom, so I took a shit. It was a log,
I hate those ones. Those ones are
and
like you're pushing to like you gotta.
well, it come out and landed horizontal, so it stuck there above the water. I've already flushed, and it's just sitting there, and I'm like, they're gonna know it's me. I don't know who's following me around or who's watching the cameras to know that I'm the one in that bathroom, but in my head, I'm like, they're gonna fucking know it's me, and I can't be the one that's got the log shit stuck in the toilet. Okay, I gotta get it down. I don't know what to do, but there's some toilet paper, and I have a finger. So I wrap my fingers in toilet paper, bend down, and poke that motherfucker until it splashes in, flush it, wash my hands, go back. And then the worst part about it, like, not only did I do that, I probably wouldn't talk about it except for the fact that I got stoned that night and decided to tell my parents, the biggest bullies I've ever known in my life.
The same exact story.
Poop poker, that's what I was known as. Shit stabber, yeah. So.
And that it's it's okay. We lived in a. It was after I had moved out of my parents' house this moment, but we had lived with some people that they only had one bathroom, but it was like 5 of us for this one bathroom. And he would get up about 8 o'clock, about the same time I did, because I'd ride him with him to go to work. Sometimes I'd have to go to the restroom while he was in the shower. And not that he took a long time in the shower, but sometimes he just took a minute, more than expected.
Yeah.
And I couldn't wait. So I go outside behind our apartment in the alley. That was like, and when I say in the backside of our apartment in the alley, it's really like a, a poor excuse for a backyard with a fence along the side of it, but it doesn't go all the way around. It just like goes up a ways to the front of the apartment, to the back of the apartment, to the actual alleyway. So there's like this much actually I'd say about this much space between our that fence in the back of the garage that nobody uses. Uh, so I went back there and habitually, but this time I went back there to shit on to go outside and use the restroom. Like I'd take a piece of roll of toilet paper with me. That's how prepared I was. How like to a science I had it. I was like, all right, if he doesn't come out in the next 5 minutes, I'm grabbing one of the things out of here. I'm going downstairs. It's either on the fence or in my pants. Uh, So this time I go out there and I'm like, man, gosh, and I have a little bit of a toot before it goes. Well, what I thought was a toot. And then I turn around and on the bottom of the fence is just like Reese's peanut butter colored like splat dot. And then there's a line that goes underneath it. So there's just an I, a lowercase I on the fence in that neighborhood, just somewhere.
It's a rectical. It's a rectical dot.
Oh.
Even measures the distance.
And then like our neighbors on the other side of the fence, it was their driveway, and then it was the fence for their actual yard. They'd come out, and like I'd be out there smoking, not after like directly afterwards, but like a few minutes afterwards, like when I'd gotten home or whatever, and they'd be like, "Man, it really smells back here. I don't know what there is. If there's some dog or there's some cats, but they've been shitting in this alley, and it smells really bad." And I'm just like, yeah, I don't know, man. Them motherfucking cats, dude, they're eating good if it smells like that. I don't know. And they're like, yeah, yeah. As I'm just like, they will never put it together. Like, there was one time, this is sad to say, there was one time we have to push and it's grunty, you know what I mean? Just in the middle of an hour.
Hey, Dad, have you seen Sissy?
She went with Grandma.
Oh. I'm not going.
Mm-hmm.
But it's it's okay. We have
sarcasm. That's why we're sorry. He's great at it. Yeah.
But like, and then there was one time when I was young when I went through 3 different pairs of pants because we decided. My dad decided it was a good time to try White Castle for the first time in our lives, and we tried it. It tried us. We lost. It destroyed 3 pairs of my pants in the matter of like 15 minutes. Because I was like getting ready for school, I'd get all my pants, I'd go to the bathroom, and before I could make it to the bathroom, I'd make an accident in my pants, and then it'd run down my leg, and then I'd have to like go to the bathroom, finish the accident, clean myself up, go back in there, put on some more pants, feel another one hit, do the exact same thing 2 more times before it stopped. And I just sat there until it stopped. It burned and hurt a lot, obviously, but like it was like, oh, so yeah, I've done it. I've done it. I told one of my friends about this when there was a time we were, it was me and my sisters in the tub. We were really young. I can barely remember it. And it was, our mom was giving us baths. And we're really young. Like, I think I was still wearing, like, on the end of wearing pull-ups. But she'd give us all baths. And, I don't know what we ate, but I had to go to the bathroom. And my mom was like, wait a minute. It'll be okay. I'll let you up and you can go in a minute. Oh, I didn't wait that minute. And so we're sitting there. My mom's like, what are you doing? I was like, I don't know, my stomach just hurts. And then, like, the size of a football just slides out of me. And my mom's like, oh my God. She picks up my sister, just gets her out of the tub. She's like, why would you do that? She's like, here, take this trash bag and pick it up and then put it in the toilet and then wipe yourself up and then put that in the toilet and then flush it. Do you still have to go? And I was like, no. And she's like, after that slid out of you, I would hope not. But yeah, I've had my fair shares of whoopsies, oopsie poopsies.
Embarrassing moments.
Oh, yeah.
Shit like that. I guess I need to bring up the ghost since part of the title is ghosts.
Yeah. We can't false advertise. We'll get sewage.
What do you think about ghosts before I get into mine? Like, where do you stand on the supernatural of phantoms and like everything? Like go down the list, dude. Like ghosts.
I feel like there's some kind of realm of existence. There's different levels. I feel like there's there's levels. Like I feel like spirits or souls are legitimately just that. They're either the actual energy of the soul that just doesn't have a host to reside in, or their residual energy left over of a memory of that person's soul. It kind of just depends on the person's level of, I would think, spiritual power to an extent. You know what I mean? Like if they're not like a shaman or a medium, just how much innate soul capacity their vessel has.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I don't know. I feel like spirits are like there's deities and there's like I feel like a poltergeist is like the highest level of normal human spirit. You know what I mean? Before you get into like demonic things.
Okay.
I mean, in an unrealistic, unlogistical sense, I do believe that there is some kind of world that we can't see, some kind of plane of existence or dimension. Like, for all we know, these people, these souls, these things we're seeing could really just be that same person without their physical vessel on another side of, maybe this is purgatory, but behind a different kind of wall.
Gotcha.
It's an overlapping filter.
Yeah, because I mean, when you look at the visible light spectrum,
like
the actual light spectrum, and then what we can see is like 12% tops.
Yeah. So maybe it's just that they're on a different realm of physicality.
Yeah. Maybe that's why we can pick up sometimes with like thermal imaging.
And that's why the EMPs and the voice recordings and that, maybe it's just they're on a different wave frequency. They're just their space and time or their perception of it vibrates at a different speed or moves at a different magnetic pole than ours. You know what I mean? But it's but in the same sense of it, maybe it is just the in between of the life and death. The thing is before they get to Jesus, those people that have unfinished business or those residual parts of their left behind minds.
And part of it is I would say
is the step beforehand.
It doesn't have to be either or. It can be
both at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, there could be potential like
residual energy that hangs them up there.
Yeah. Some of them may be one, some of them may be the other.
Some of them may be both.
Yeah.
Some may be fucking neither. Who knows? And I feel like with the neither, I feel like there are like possessions could be possible hayox and nonsense, but in the same instance of it, if there are spirits and there are ghosts and things like that of just regular people, maybe we have religions for a reason, you know what I mean? Maybe there's maybe not deities, maybe just like in the concept of aliens, people on a different plane of existence who have made it further than us in the technological sense of that. You know what I mean? They're just their dimension of their world runs on a different. Instead of gravity, it's like mana. You know what I mean? Like it's an actual power source that gives them that astral projection manipulation, whatever you want to call it, that demons do or angels do when they show up in the instances in which we have occurrences for them, or goat ladies or black-eyed children, or
black-eyed children are fucking freaky.
Yeah, my dad met some.
Oh, really?
Met a gal that he'd go out in the forest and play with. Yeah. They never let him go back out and play with them. Dad saw a lot of stuff that he didn't tell us about. But like, uh, and I don't want to get redacted or swatted or whatever for this, but like they have a, and this just could be. I don't think my dad was completely insane his whole life. You know, there's memories there that have some. There's every truth to a joke kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But they like some of the when he saw the black eyed kid, it's you're not supposed to let them into your house. If they knock on your door, you're supposed to just ignore them, let them go. If you invite them into your house, it's like breathing nitrogen. You breathe in, but the next time you breathe out, that's your last breath. That's the last visitor you're gonna have in the house. And then they take over the house, and then they live there. I'm pretty for sure. They just keep doing it that way, I think, or at least until they find a suitable place, whatever.
Heard something similar to that, yeah.
Yeah. But they had an instance of it. They reported it. He was out there fucking playing sticks or something with it. Just being kids playing with it, and or them, however they prefer. You know, even if they are supernatural being with malintentions or not, they have a something. I don't know. Either way, but they when they got done with it, and they reported the not necessarily the men in blacks you would think came in, but they legitimately sat him down and put him through what the people don't know 101 type shit.
Gotcha.
Like the what you could see, what is real, what you're supposed to do when you see it type shit. And that's all he told us on it. Like we're at a point now where there's evidence and there's Sasquatches. We don't know if they're fucking uh there's multiple theories on it. There's enough sense they could be uh primal ape people that have not gotten the genetic evolution that we have, but instead have a shamanic or druidish demeanor towards. You know what I mean? Like there have been things where they have been known to be shapeshifters, where they just turn into a ball of light and then they disappear among the stars, or where they're just like they're the swamp thing kind of thing. They're just a genetic mutation of some sorts that didn't go right, and now they live out in the forest, or a race of sentience that what I mean. I feel with things like these, it's best to keep it like not necessarily simple, but like open minded, but skeptical at the same time.
Yeah.
Like it's I may not trust it till I see it kind of thing, but if it's it's if there are multiple stories, multiple references, and there are congruencies and or continuations within those stories, within those different people's accountations of the same thing, there may be some truth to it. There may be something that nobody's looking. Yeah. It may need to be.
This is very much like the way I look at ghosts too. Is very open minded to, but like this is anything: ghosts, conspiracies, aliens,
anything
Bigfoot
unexplained.
Even.
Yeah.
Bigfoot. I've heard similar things. Is like either they're like another race of hominids that have just gotten really good at hiding.
Yeah.
And the shamanistic version of it makes sense to me. They'd be very nature oriented.
It's not just necessarily that they make herbs out of the things around them, as well as the fact is they're just hardwired to be in tune with nature, whether it's calling animals or getting a tree to bend to their will.
And then I've heard that they're extra dimensional aliens. I've heard that they work with the Greys or work for the Greys. Mutations. Yeah, I'm not sure what they are, but again, same thing. There's enough stories of them that's like there's something there.
There has to be, yeah. There's a reason.
Just like ghosts, though, same way with Bigfoot. I think that there's only like a certain percentage of all the Bigfoot stories that are actual Bigfoots.
Yeah, there's definitely some people that just
like it's a very small percentage of ghost stories that are actual ghosts and not just them being like
I saw
seen
a tree
something that looks weird.
a tree in the window that happened to be the shape of someone's
Yeah.
face.
Um,
Or not like you wake up in the middle of the night cold sweat and you can't move.
but there's enough to where it's like, yeah, same things with UFOs.
Like,
Only a
I've
small
had-
percentage of actual UFO sightings are actual
Yeah.
craft that we don't understand or that that are just out completely different than any plane that we've ever that's known or for sure unclassified, I guess you'd say.
Yeah. Undiscovered.
Yeah.
Unapproached. But like I've had a few like I don't know necessarily not like my father, but I don't see things usually. I did as a kid, but I feel them and I hear them. I sense them more than I physically actually see them. Like there'll be times where I'm in a graveyard and I can sense the tension in the graveyard, or I can I'll fucking hear whispers where there aren't any in my ears. But when I was a kid, we lived in Vienna, and we had the way our rooms laid out. My doorway was like catty corner to my sister's, so I could see people walking out of the doorway to go to the bathroom, or the rest of the house. My bedroom was in the back. Well, there'd be nights where I'd wake up and I wouldn't be able to fucking move or breathe for like solid seconds at a time. Like it felt like someone was sitting on your chest, just kind of staring you in the face, like no. And then you get up and you're like, my mom's like, you've been screaming this whole time. And I'm like sitting in bed for like 10, 20 minutes straight, like trying to legitimately like force the air out of my voice, like to scream. And then I can't. Like, it's not coming out. And then like I'd have a couple of nights like that. And it got to the point where I thought it was normal. You know what I mean? I just thought it was part of sleeping. You just wake up and have a fucking seizure where your lungs don't work for a minute, and then you just kind of, okay, we're good to go now. But no, and then later on, or during that time, there'd be some times where I'd wake up at night and I'd see someone in my sister's doorway, just standing there staring at me. One of the times it was distinguishable enough to the point where I could figure out that it was a hockey player one time, and then a dude in a mafia suit and a hat with a suitcase.
Damn.
The second one I do believe was my grandpa. He was a treasurer for the not the Illuminati, the Freemasons.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so he'd come home with broken or frozen bags of peas on his knuckle, collecting the stuff for the treasury. He's a bookkeeper. That's what my dad always called him.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it was a lot of stuff like that. There'd be people that show up to the dad's house in black suits and just give them stuff. Like my grandpa at one point, they had a recorder, one of those old-fashioned vinyls. He'd sit out in the yard and they'd listen to the vinyl recordings. Well, there would be illegal animal calls, like giraffe calls, or fucking one of them was timberwolf calls, like just random animals.
That's what he would listen to?
Yeah, they just sit out there and listen to it. My grandpa was kind of hoarder, I understand. So they had a lot of stuff they didn't need. They ended up bidding it off at the end when he died and made a bunch of money off it. Not like, yeah, he made a bunch of money. They just had a bunch of stuff they didn't need. They need to get rid of it. They benefit with it off of that. But yeah, there was a time I worked at Subway, and my grandma would always rub the middle of my back to get me to go to sleep. And I was having a particularly tough night at Subway one day. And no one's in the store. We're closed. I'm getting ready to count up the drawer and go head out. All right, I'm putting the change in the drawer, and someone just runs their finger down my back from top to bottom. Just runs it down my back. And I'm like, huh? What? Turn around, no one's there. I'm like, all right. And I have a bad, well, not so much anymore because people look at me funny. but I had a bad habit of like getting in moments like that and then starting to talk to the ghost. Like, all right now, motherfucker, I do not give you permission over my body. Step the fuck back. I've not boxed a ghost, but I will. We'll see.
So like my theory of the ghost is similar to what you're saying. Like it almost ties into a conversation about consciousness, but I'm gonna save that for another time. Just the idea of like where it comes from, what it is, what happens when we die.
I feel like the soul is very much a part of consciousness.
But yeah, like I believe some of it might be like a residual energy or almost like residual memory that just replaying this looping.
Like a manifestation.
Yeah, kind of. Just because it's so strong.
Whether it's the emotions around it or just the energy of the moment itself.
Is Sissy out there?
Yeah.
All right, tell her I know what time it is.
Okay.
It'll be a little while still. And then I think that
she timing moves.
No, she's wanted to go to the park, and so she was. But I also believe that I think that I don't know if there's a conscious ghost that's human. I think that almost every time, maybe not every time, but I think most every time.
Yes.
Most of the time, if it's a conscious ghost that's interacting with you, it's not the person.
You either have to be close to the spot, whatever it has happened, or
I think it's actually an interdimensional being riding the wave of that energy of that person
to impersonate it.
To try, the potential. The thing is that it's trying to break into this dimension. It sees this dimension as better, or maybe it's just a mad scientist. Maybe
grass is greener on the other side for whatever.
Yeah, maybe it's just somebody who's running from the law over there on that side, and they're like, hey, if I get to this other dimension, they can't reach me. Whatever the fuck reason that they want to get into this dimension, I think that like when it becomes conscious and it's like interacting with you, maybe once it is not so unheard of, but if it's a multiple
occurrence kind of thing.
Yeah, it's where they're constantly trying to contact you or trying to influence the surroundings around you or influence you in some way. I think that's a dimensional being trying to, because once you invite it, so like the black-eyed children that we're talking about, you start to invite it in. You're like, okay, this is my mom. I'm just going to start talking to it on a Ouija board. And then it seems
okay,
more common that it goes to bad. It doesn't go good. It usually goes bad.
Yeah, somebody's like,
and so
and then shit like, starts flying around the room.
Of coming in. And so I think that's like what a demon is. It's just an interdimensional creature that doesn't have our morals. That's what we would call a demon. Or an angel, same thing, would be an interdimensional being that does have our morals or a higher standard of our morals.
An understanding.
That comes through and interacts with us. I do have a funny theory about poltergeists.
They're just pranksters.
I think they're ghosts that get embarrassed. So a lot of the times, I will knock on a door if I know there's nobody else in that room, just to make sure that I don't catch the ghost changing, because I don't want to embarrass it and then cause it into a poltergeist. It's just like,
and then it just runs away and knocks the mug over, and it's like, oh, fuck!
Just a fun, they get embarrassed, they get pissed off, and then the fury takes over. And
I get that very much. Just I feel like that's
a fun little theory. One thing I do have to though. Okay, here's another. Since chimps are very close to us, and I would argue that rats have more of a potential for conscious, pigs and dogs, cats.
I will argue to say that there are very well times, whether or not is a once a human soul that has taken over the now dog body. You know what I mean? Like that soul still remembers that past life experience.
Yeah, almost like a what do they call it? Reincarnation?
Yeah, but
where they remember their past life still though.
It's like a rub off kind of thing. It's like there is like we've had a couple of dogs that have had human like attitudes, human like traits, human like.
That's why I say like I don't think that every dog has a conscious. But I think that some dogs do have conscience.
Definitely.
Same thing with cats, and I would argue strongly for rats and pigs to be even more likely to have a conscious because they're more intelligent. I think the more intelligent you are, the more likely you are to have a consciousness in the form of that we understand human consciousness.
Right.
Not,
Yeah.
I'm not talking about a consciousness as like they're a conscious being.
They can
I'm
walk and
talking-
talk and do things.
They're almost able to like plan the future, remember the past, kind of situation.
They have memory. They have
it's-
an occupation.
They have an ideal of a theology. They have a theory on things. They have a thing of morals.
I don't
they've
like
got.
this. I like this.
Yeah.
Whether it is just
things should be this way or shouldn't be this way. Like I think they have that.
Yeah.
That I think that's ultimately what a consciousness is. Is like what you could easily loosely define consciousness as somebody who can plan ahead, remember the past, has an ideal of what is or what isn't,
and an opinion
on
of their
things
existence.
that aren't. They are able to contemplate their own existence, what happens after they don't exist, and
Before
they're
they-
also able to have a set of morals or immoral things. Just because like a lot of even monkeys don't really have that. They just are like, this is what I need to do for me. It's not a moral thing. It's not like this would benefit me if I beat the shit out of my boss.
Yeah.
But I can't beat the shit out of my boss because it's wrong. It would be wrong. Like
They would just beat the shit out of their boss.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. So it's like
there's no
it's that kind of scenario of like morals and not morals. I think some dogs have those, some dogs don't. Some pigs don't. Some cats do. Some cats don't.
It's just a higher probability of them being able to have that.
And that may even trickle down to like birds and everything.
Elephants,
there's a
exactly.
chance that elephants would be another one that would probably have a good chance of having a consciousness.
Especially if they're known for having a high amount of memory, they're probably it's.
I don't want to disturb it, but I read some root beer.
Where's the root beer? Oh, I forgot to take it out there, didn't I? Sorry.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. But I think that what was it again? Okay, so if that's the case, that this is true. Where are like chimps are very close to us in the aspect of genetics. So if it is a genetic thing and not a spiritual woo-woo kind of situation, like I believe in, like it's like I don't know if it's spiritual, but it's something similar to spirituality, woo-woo. It's not just based on our biology. Our biology doesn't create the consciousness. The consciousness uses our biology. That's my opinion.
Like if that was the case, biology would create the person's personality before they went through experiences to have that personality.
Yeah, exactly.
They would grow up just naturally being an asshole that hates the world because the world hates them.
Yeah. So where are the ghost monkeys or the ghost chimps?
Yeah.
Where are the ghost dogs, ghost cats? Like,
we swear to God that we have Wolfie in the house. Like our dogs that we have now, they will walk around the house and like look at shit that's not there. The other day, me and my mom and my sister were all sitting in the house, all right? And I'm standing there talking to my mom. And behind me, the dogs are behind me. One of the dogs is behind me. I hear two dogs, or what sounds like someone like whispering to the dog and petting the dog's head in our kitchen. Okay, mind you, the other dog that we have two dogs, and the other dog is going around me into the kitchen, like as this is happening and after it's happening in that span of time. From the time I noticed it happening to the time it ended, the dog was going around me to go into the kitchen. So the other dog was the only one in the kitchen. Okay, I go in there and the dog's staring at the ceiling. And then just looks at me and then comes over to me. And I'm like, what in the is going on? I can't do this.
This is like one of the things that keeps me on edge with the ghosts is like I'm just not sure if they're real because like
I can't see them. I can't
see them. I haven't seen them. I hear the stories, and so because of the stories, there's a preponderance of evidence they exist.
Exactly.
And if they do exist, that would be my theory. But I'm also on the edge of like, if they do exist, also like where are the ghost animals? Why aren't there a lot of ghost animals everywhere? Because animals were on this planet long.
Exactly.
Even in these cities that were here long before these cities were built.
Like there should be at least
so many animals should have died in this area probably.
For
so
one dog, there should be a spectral 7 wolves.
Like
you
so,
think of like it's exactly like how do we not have ghost dinosaurs?
Where are the asshole ghosts that are like just like
picking people's noses,
like audibly assholes? Like so, like there's
the guy that comes out of your toilet pipe and he's like,
so racism.
Your fucking butthole's purple.
Racism was a thing, and I've never heard of a
racist ghost.
Racist ghost. It's like just picking on one color. Yeah. Like, I'm surely it exists, but I've never heard of it, and I've always wondered like where's that evidence of that? Because that would be.
How do you specify that as well? They're like, he's sexist because he picks on women mostly.
Yeah, they just bring in different colors. So like, let's test this. Nobody does that test either. On all the ghost hunting shows, nobody brings in a black guy to say, are they going to pick up more on this?
Yeah, Zach Bagans. What are you doing?
I'm just saying.
You don't even, like, you bring
be good study.
A Mexican person to a place that
and yeah, sexism would be even more prevalent because that's like been a cultural thing. Like women are not allowed in certain rooms with men because like that's where they're doing their state affairs or whatever. That happened like for hundreds of years all around the world, not just so like where are the guys who are like fuck you women or like what are you doing in that pantsuit? Like bitch getting a dress.
The dude that's like, why don't you have a skirt and fucking
like so it's just those are things that make me wonder. And then like if there are ghosts, is there a scientific study on how to like produce them or to call them forward?
If that's a thing, how do I properly summon an actual ghost? And I know there's probably tarot readings and seance,
but I want to know
actual
that it's
tutorials
actual
on it.
Yeah, I want to see the studies where like people just sit here and like. Just be like try to get a ghost. Hey, will you come here? And then I want to see a study done with a Ouija board, and then I want it done with a pentagram, and I want it done. I want all
with
these
the little boxes that have the voices that come up, or the
studies
little
done to see how often or how much more successful are you to get a ghost when you go through all these occult practices,
and
as opposed to just trying to will it into existence.
Yeah, just kind of sitting there and thinking, I want a ghost here right now.
Yeah, so
I want
to do all the studies in the same area and see which one picks up the most evidence of a ghost or the most chance of response. I think that'd be an awesome scientific study that should be done.
And I mean, I know they probably do it. There's probably there are probably ghost hunters out there that do it to that extent and they just don't like document it, or they're not the kind of people that do it for show. But it is very much like that. It's like, well, why not? I understand that they cost money to probably use, but why not?
Yeah, I think that would be the biggest thing is like
why not go through all of them on every single thing?
You'd have to go through and hire a different team for each. So there would be the variables there too, because then you would have the different people for each one of them. Levels. And then what you do is you move those people around within those studies. So the same people just do the Ouija, and then the same people just do the willing, like they just start trying to will the ghost to do this. Because maybe some people are stations, some people are just stronger mediums
than they are. Imbuing objects with that same kind of
And so maybe the chances of just certain people just willing it is better than other people. And then when they work down the occult, that's like a guaranteed chance that they're going to get some sort of interaction with something,
And on this kind of setting topic, we had where I used to live in the town, we lived at the back of the cemetery. And this is what I was talking about beforehand, where you go through the middle of it, you could feel the tension between it. Like I'd see I didn't actually see, but you'd see shadows on clear nights, just kind of in between them. Not clearly, but out of the corner of your eye. Sometimes it could have just been the shadow of the tree itself on the ground, passing this dark tree, But I would go through the graveyard, and I am by no means saying that we all have this ability, or that I have this ability in general, or that we are there could be very well. I'm not saying it is or there isn't, but I'm also not saying that I am capable of I'm not a shaman or a druid.
medium.
Yeah, I'm not like I sense the things, but I can't like command the spirits or make a fucking flame pop out.
Yeah.
I'm not a wizard.
At least that you know of.
I'm not a necromancer. Yeah, I don't have.
Because they are saying that there's a way to train yourself to be able to be more telepathic
or open open your third eye to see those things, which I may be.
And they are doing scientific studies on that because there's the thing called the telepathy tapes, in which like autistic kids are able to communicate with their mom, no verbals, and they're like able to communicate completely through basically minds. It's telecommunicate.
I can understand.
Like even on the opposite side of walls.
Like not looking at each other, just legitimately think I want to fucking grill cheese, and the mom. The study was like shapes.
Cheese. They would think of a shape, and the mom would be able to tell what shape the kid was thinking of.
I get you.
And they were able to prove that that's a significant variation between, like they're actually able to do that.
I get you. I think I've seen a trend on TikTok where they do it with twins.
So you could be trained to do this, but you have a very low level kind of
exactly
thing.
Yeah. If that is an actual thing, I would think. Like most people, I'm probably a novice.
Like as an airbender, you're just able to blow the straw up a little bit.
Yeah. Like that's about it.
You're not Aang.
No, but like in my head, I'd walk through the graveyard and I would do this thing mentally, where I would imagine myself walking, but in that other plane of existence, as I'm walking down the road. But in that other plane of existence, I would give myself like a spiritual aura mentally that I thought would keep myself protected against those things in the graveyard, whether they were just human energy or just spawns of Satan. That graveyard felt like a vortex. It just felt like a lot of shit was in the middle of it.
Well, I was just thinking about this when you were saying this. It's like, you know how many fights people get in with their neighbors just living in houses? Now, I mean, you're fucking 5 foot away from your neighbor all the time. There's no fence in between you guys. You guys are fighting. You're getting into some arguments. Dude, you're shitting again. The fucking smells over here, man.
Like they catch me, they come around the alley and they're like, "Oh, honey, you can't see that. Go back over there." And I'm just like over there, just like,
literally just like 5 foot away from each other all the time. Has spirits in that graveyard. Yeah, there's gonna be some contempt and some like
there's
hostilities between
your fucking
other.
Butts in my goddamn grave again.
It's like, and then
like there's
people who hated each other are buried across the road from each other.
That's kind of what it felt like with the whole graveyard. It was like mad and ominous, dark, and then like just angry and pissed off at the fact that they were there. And I'm just like, but yeah. So like I would walk through that graveyard, or honestly, it became a little bit of a habit in general when I was a kid. I would walk through areas that I felt that kind of like energy, and I would immediately come up with this like armored, on fire mental avatar that's just like
protection.
Fuck you, bitch. Yeah. Or I would have this habit where I would imagine the top of my head being like the space scope, the space telescope. Where it's got that like bubble dome on top that opens up like the top of a stadium.
Okay, I get what you're talking about.
It has like the.
Okay, you're talking about a
retractable roof
on Earth Space Observatory.
Yeah, that.
Okay,
yes. That little like dome part of it. That's what my brain would look like inside my head, but I would think of it as like the opening and closing of a fucking
protecting your consciousness kind of situation.
Yeah, like the open of a stadium kind of deal, the roof on that. It was very much like I was just a weird kid like that. I don't know. That was the things I did to protect myself against imaginary things that I had no understanding of at that moment.
I guess I need to finish up. I got kids were wanting to go.
Yeah.
One last thing, I guess. Speaking of weird shit we did as kids, so I was a little bit older than me. I have to put this in here as well because I'm pretty sure I got poetry on the title as well, so I have to make sure I get this through.
Yes.
But as a teenager, So I've been writing poems 7th grade. I think was the first time that I started writing poetry. Um, and I wrote hundreds of poems. I've lost 90, 60 to 90%. That's something that's big. Like I've lost a shit ton of them.
Through the
hell, I
move,
wrote a whole book and I titled it, and it was just poems, finished poems that I had rewrote perfectly, and it was going to be an actual book.
Right.
And I wrote that in high school, and I lost that whole notebook. I just imagine somebody coming across it and being like, "Oh, English projects next year."
Yeah, yeah. Like here's my haiku for 12/12.
But then, like, and I would read my poems in front of class. Like, I would purposely ask the English teachers.
I read one
from 9th, 10th grade. I stopped caring after 11th grade or so. Like, I just stopped caring about school. But up until that point, like, I would ask my English teachers. I'd go up. I'd get them right as the class started. Be like, "Hey, I've got a poem. Can I read it today?" Sometimes, most of the time, they'd be like, "Yeah, that's fine." A lot of times, sometimes it got to the point where she was like, "Not today, but we'll get you in later this week or something." Like, because I asked so many times.
Yeah. Hey, sometimes you're passionate or obsessive. If that's what they want to call it.
Yeah, and the majority of my poems, so some of them are based on social concepts. Like one of the big ones that I wrote was about equality and about being judgmental in high school, and how you shouldn't do that because it could be you.
Homework was one of the ones I remember doing one on that I had to stand up and read on, and
equality or something like that.
Just homework.
Oh,
that was my topic, was homework.
Oh.
And then they had me stand up and read it in the middle of class. I don't know. I took like a very I don't understand why we have to do it, but they tell us to, insanity kind of stance.
Get you.
And they play thunder music and rain in the background, and they're like, read it again. And I was like, okay. So then there for a while on Snapchat, I was viral on that class's people's story because they're like, I feel that.
Yeah.
It was very much my point of view on it. I forgot what the poem was, but it was very much they tell us this is good for us. They tell us that this is, this is going to benefit us. This is good for the good for us doing this homework that, but really it's just to pad themselves to show that we have learned what they have taught us, and we are able to reiterate and write down the information they have jammed into us.
Yeah. And, they're good at making us repeat what they say.
Yeah. This isn't for our benefit. We're not going to take any of this out into that,
Yeah, for real.
I mean, in all honesty, some of it you do. History, math, there are some shit that you use, but to the extent in which they're teaching it, yes, no, it is not.
Yeah, and it's not just, it's the way they taught it. It was very much curated. This is the way it's got to be taught, and this is
this
that you need to know. And it's yeah, but I want to know about this weird shit that you're talking about in this history. I want to know about the weird shit that's not on the test.
Yeah,
that's the stuff that interests me.
You're teaching me about how to breed fruit flies, and I want to know why albinism shows up in each species.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's the tests aren't reflective of what we find interesting. It's what you have. It's not even reflective of what the teacher finds interesting.
Yeah, at the time, you can tell too, because they're like, all right, we're gonna go over multiplication. And then they're like, all right, guys, we're going to go over Pythagorean theorem today.
Yeah.
It's you can tell which one they were really wanting to get to.
Yeah. Interested. What made them actually.
Unless you got a history teacher. And that history teacher very rarely isn't interested in just anything that is history. Whether it's his, whether it's the next continent over. He don't care.
The history teacher, I remember, all he did was slides of notes. He had a little projector up. He'd put a slide in. And he'd tell you what those notes said, and he would explain what it meant. But for the most part, that was his thing. He would write out his whole
lesson on.
And then you would just take notes on the entire fucking thing. You would just write down what he had up there, or the main bulletin. What I would do is I would write the main bulletin points of what he's talking about.
Right, and then remember the rest of it as he talks about it. We had a teacher that would use it as main bullet points.
But he was never trying to get up there and being think about this. Think about how it would have been. Like he wasn't like
None of them.
trying to get you
Very
to
few.
feel in the shoes of the people who were in that history, that moment.
Very few of them were very immersive as the fact of
And a
being
science
able
teacher
to.
that was really interested. He like really loved science, loved space.
We had one of
And
those as well. Yes, we had a little shout out to my teacher's history. His name was for history. We had a guy by the name of I'll say Mr. Berry. That was his actual last name, but he did a very good job of like he was a younger guy, but he did a very good job of like keeping us as children occupied and entertained by what we were learning. He was very, especially when it came to history, he was very much like a think about it, get it down. Like, and by the end of the year, we had to recite the Bill of Rights and the amendments.
oh shit.
Yeah, he was a cool, nice teacher, but he definitely was like, all right, you gotta learn. We have to make sure you get this down. Yeah.
So we've been writing poetry. Main uh, inspiration was Edgar Allan Poe. He wrote The Raven, Monkey's Paw, uh, Telltale Heart. What I really got inspired by was the poems that he wrote his cousin, who he ended up marrying, I believe. Yeah, those were the way. His passion for her was amazing.
It was
fucked up relationship,
situation, yes, but everyone should have that amount of.
And then learning that he died broke as and drunk,
yes,
alcoholic
in a ditch.
essentially. And he didn't get famous until like a few
Afterwards,
years later,
like way afterwards.
And so like that was inspiring to me. The fact that even though he didn't make it in his life, his work was so great that it like made it eventually.
His like and this
so his name is known, even though he didn't know his name was going to be known.
Exactly, and this kind of brings me to a question I kind of have, and I've asked like different people on this, and they usually have like an economic standpoint on it. They're like, well, back in my day, it was easier to save money. The economic wasn't a shift. We didn't cost things as much. You could save money easier. You could do this. You could own a house and still have money to save and this and that. But like, and in your instance, you have kids, so like you will probably, I would obviously think would pick one of these choices and the other. But I would like. There's how many people on this planet, each working lives, each living the same life day in, day out. Whether they're an inventor, whether they're an important person or not, they're doing that thing in and out, in and of themselves. Music artists, they're making their way. Us and with this stuff, like we're trying to make something of ourselves, but we can't take any of this with us. This house is this blanket, this computer, laptop, none of it. We can't take any of this with us. None of the money, none of the cancer cures, none of this. We can't take it with us. It doesn't go into the afterlife.
Yeah, and I'm not even 100% certain that we get our memories
at that point. Exactly. Like, how do we know we're not just molded into whatever next reincarnation or whatever is after that? But like in and of that self, we don't know what's after that. What is that we're waiting for? Why we? From what I understand of life, from what I've grasped, it's either people are either cushioning themselves to make their inevitable wait towards death more comfortable and more, to where they have the ignorance of the patience and the ignorant bliss to ride out until they die, or they make sure that with the time that they have, they're like the people who are curing cancer and the Shriners, the organizations for charity. Like you're doing whatever you can to make sure that there's enough accumulated, or like with you and your kids, whether it's financially or whatever, you're making sure that, or just knowledge in general,
memories and everything like that,
and passing on that kind of thing.
Lessons, morals,
that kind of it's like it's either you're doing that or you're accumulating knowledge and things and resources for the people after you, so they don't have to suffer and go through the hardship like you did in yourself.
Get you.
in order to pluff up the next people.
So your question is like, which one is it, or
what's the
or
point?
like,
Exactly. Like, yeah, well, why, other than those two options that I've come to my
I think that both those options
conclusion,
are the same.
Just a different person in perspective.
In the aspect of, if you're doing something for the benefit of humanity in the future, you're doing it so that you feel more comfortable with your time existence. that you're here. Yeah, so that you're putting yourself at ease until your death.
Less regret. Less.
Yes, that's your version of what needs to be done. Whereas somebody's like, I just need to have as much fun as possible
until
because this is what I need to do to keep myself comfortable until death.
Right.
Like, this is going to keep me from stressing about what's going to happen to humanity afterwards. Whereas the person who's stressed about what happens to humanity or somebody else
takes those into consideration.
That's their. It's like if they were partying, they would be like, God, I could be doing so much for my kids. I could be doing so much for humanity. Whereas the person who's partying is like not thinking about that at all. But if they were worrying about their kids or the humanity, they'd be like, God, I could be fucking partying. And so it's just uncomfortableness of it. So it's just their version of keeping them comfortable.
I get you.
Now I do believe that, like, I think that's just what is.
Yeah, like what
I think though the better option would be like to try to do something for civilization, for the continuance of the species, for continuance of your children, your sister, whatever you've got that's going to supersede you.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe it's your company, because maybe your company actually does something good for some people.
Right.
You know, it may do bad, but for some people it may be life-changing in a good way.
I guess my question is what are we waiting on? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
this is a very good question. This is one of the reasons this kind of brings back why I write poetry, is because I feel like so many people are just like not willing to go the extra step of doing what they want or saying what they want or going after what they want. They're too held back to like social norms. I got to make sure that, you know, I don't do anything to embarrass myself.
Well, the butterfly effect of this may ruin this and this and that.
Yeah, like the radical truth telling comes down to like, take that leap of faith and just say what you mean, so that you know where they stand. You know.
Yeah, if they can only say no, they can only.
I know, it'll be not too much longer. We're on the last part of it.
I promise.
Okay, last part.
We'll wrap it up here soon.
We're still gonna go. It won't, baby. We're almost done. I promise, okay? I'm on the last part. I'm just going to do this poem, and then we'll get off, okay?
I promise. Just a little patience. He's probably up. He's fucking keeping the park.
But my poetry was a way of me expressing thoughts and feelings that were too taboo to bring up in a normal conversation. It was and the fact that they rhyme was just my way of making it entertaining at the same time. So it's entertaining also, but it also has a meaning in it.
Like it connects the thought.
Yeah.
There's
and
the flow.
Some of it is extra. Like I like to be hyperbolic, which is the state of exaggerating or making something bigger than what it is. I enjoy doing that for entertainment purposes as well.
It gets the point across a little bit. It gets that
image in your head like Chris Farley fucking. He didn't just say, I don't want to go live in a van down by the river. No, he'd be, I'm going to go live in a van down by the river.
Exactly.
So it's that little extra
zest that gives it that context. That gives it
hyperbolicness. So I think that's what people who have hopes and dreams, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They're held back by the fear that going after them is going to be seen as being irresponsible because you're not doing the normal thing. It's seen
because it bites you in the hand one too many times.
It's seen as being some of it's seen as being selfish, and it's like a little bit. Yes.
I mean, you got to take care of yourself. You can't.
Okay. Like if the one thing that you're going to be selfish in is your hopes and dreams. That's a good thing. Exactly. Because even if you do have kids, in the aspect, you show them that to pursue your hopes and dreams.
You have to
go after them. Don't let anything say that you can't.
Whether it is social norms or whether it is expectations in general. If you think it
now,
can
don't
happen,
be a piece of shit and like abandon.
yeah,
like,
everything and everybody.
I heard a comic do that recently. Like, she showed up at Kill Tony, and she was like, "Yeah, I just left my kids in Chicago or something, moved down here to Austin to do stand up." And I'm like, "Wow,
With
like,
who? Yeah, like that's a little too far.
Like-
Like that's funny, but that's like, wow, you're a piece of shit. Funny.
yeah." So it's like you
Come
can't go
back.
to that extent because they were like young kids still. They were young kids. They weren't like fully
5,
grown.
6,
They
like
were
a
like,
little bit
yeah.
older than yours.
Yeah,
They're like,
I think they were about my kid's age, like just moving out of town just to get away to go chase something that you could have chased in your other city. It just wouldn't have been as successful because it's not as big a comedy store. But you would have had your kids still,
yeah,
or been around your kids.
like that. Just
And she
because
said
it's
that
not
she
Phil
still
Tony.
like interacted with them every other weekend or something like that. But it's still like
You're in another state right
Yeah.
now, and they're back in again. Like, how do we know you didn't shove them in a closet with some goldfish
Yeah,
and just
so
leave
it's
them
like-
there?
So it's like it's that kind of like, I want to show my kids that it's okay to go after these things. I want to not be held back by social norms. I want to say what I want to say in an entertaining way. Which brings me to what I the poem
Getting
that
to, right?
is the aspect that I've done this since I was in middle school, or high school. I did a lot of it. I would write poems for girls, and I would give them to them. Like, I would just straight up like give them to them.
I've done it a couple times,
and it never turned out good.
Yeah, no,
Never turned out good. Except,
my parents stopped
but
me
the
one
thing
time
is, like,
because I was talking about blowing up like
every
cats
time
and dogs.
they appreciated it. They appreciated the gesture of it.
I was
but
a dumb kid, by the way. Don't take my poem.
But the aspect of like, I think it was like that I wasn't the one that they were attracted to. Like, because if I was in the one,
fact that you were the one that, or that they didn't like the poem that you wrote them. It was just the fact that you weren't the person that they wanted the poem from.
Yes, exactly, and that's perfectly fine. Like, I devastated me back then. Devastated me.
Yeah, I can get that. Yeah,
I get it. I'm fine with it now. That's fine.
That's understandable.
That makes it easier for me to be like, okay, this isn't the one.
This isn't the problem. This isn't her
one.
thing.
Yeah,
it's not me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I know because like one of them was like, she got a few of them from me, and she was like, I keep them in a box. Like, I keep them there. If I'm having a bad day, I pull them out. I'm like, oh, so I'm your confidence boost. I'm like, I'm at least inspiring. Like, I'm doing something.
That is still helping, yes.
Yeah, it's like, that is like, I know I'm not the one that you want to be with because of it, but at least like my biggest goal with writing has always been, if I inspire one person, I've done awesome.
If I've done that on TikTok.
I've already done that on TikTok. I had a TikTok account for a little while and would share stuff, and I did inspire at least one girl. She was like, "This is awesome. How do you do this?" So I kind of like explained to her the process of doing it, and I'm like, "That's awesome," because that's the one inspiration that I wanted from my work. So anything like that is awesome to me. But I continue to do that. As I continue to do that, because I'm now trying to actually get out there and date. As I see hope in the future, 2026 going to be the fucking year, I've done this again, and I just wanted to read it. She hasn't got it yet, and I don't think she will until probably Valentine's Day. I'm hoping to have lost some weight by then and be a little bit better overall. But this is it's called A Poet's Chance. So, looking at you, girl, I can tell you got the recipe. Smile like an angel and a laugh that acts like ecstasy. Not sure, but I feel that you could make the best of me. Either way, girl, I know you can have the rest of me. All that's left of me, you can have everything that's left. I would fight and fiend for you with every single breath. I could see me chasing you even after death. I wouldn't be replacing you even after death. No, I'm forevermore. I could be forever yours. So if you only say the word, I'd forever pour my heart and mind into this, because I know that we could do this, because I would work night and day just to give you true bliss. Yeah, I know you got your 2 kids, and I got mine too. I know I've got my flaws, but there's nothing I'm blind to. But for the one that I know, just know I wouldn't mind to work and fix on them until you find I'm fine too. Yeah, I'd be forever loyal, make you laugh every day, hold you tight every night until your fears fade away. And I ain't looking for an answer now. Hold what you have to say. Get to know me first and see that this isn't just wordplay. But I'm smart, funny, capable, and I just want to show you that I adore what I know and I'd like to get to know you better than I do because I really feel we'd grow to see each other's potential, and that's the reason that I wrote you. And I know it's strange, but poetry's my thing. I love to be romantic, just like a movie scene. And yes, I know where I work and how that shit seems, but I've unconventional goals. I've got uncommon dreams. And I've afflictions and addictions. No, I ain't saintly, but I'm no good. But I'm no good piece of shit. Nope, that simply ain't me. Just talk with your mama. That woman knows me well. And maybe you tell me to fuck off. Maybe you tell me to go to hell. But if it's greater than zero, then I have to take the chance because I'm sick of sitting on the sidelines. It's time to try to dance because I'm a fighter for what I want, and what I want is a romance. So I wrote this rhyme for that reason, for you to know that I'm entranced. Now just think on what's been said. I'm short in stature with a giant heart. No reply is just fine. Rejection won't tear me apart. But not trying would have killed me, at least a little bit inside. I might fail miserably, but at least I know I've tried. Yet I'm confident that with time I could show you how I'm one of the great ones. Now here's the 10 digits that are mine. And then I got my phone number, but you bitches ain't getting that.
That's pretty good. Better than what I could probably do.
That's
by far.
That's why I wanted to share it, because this is like, the comedy is something that I really enjoy doing, and I enjoy the making the jokes. The podcast is awesome because I get to talk about everything that I love to talk about. Get to hear different sides of stories from someone younger than me.
And I'm always gonna have a point of view or another or a thought process.
Yeah, you're always, and so. But that's,
if I don't have a topic to bring myself.
The poetry. I actually write them as raps. I just don't do them on beats for two reasons. One, a lot of the times that you get copyrighted, and then two, I just feel like
if you have a rhythm in your head, why mess it up?
My origins is poetry, so yeah, I just keep it as poems.
And I kind of hear the rhythm as you go as well. It's like
over a beat. Over a beat could be good. Like I could do it over a beat. I could do it with the beat.
Right.
I'm capable of doing. That's how I write it. But I just don't. I choose not to.
It's not what you want to do with it.
Yeah, it's
Maybe the right girl come along and she'll have her own speaking of which, I mean, we'll probably end it here soon, but she'll have her own album, her own,
I get what you're saying. Oh yeah, I would be thrilled to write for somebody. If somebody wants me to write for them, I would be thrilled to write for a musician. It would be awesome. I would definitely be willing to do that.
Well, not only that, but once you get to find the lady, she will have poems. She will have songs that you have written.
Oh yeah.
Because you want those feelings already. She will have at that moment fit those criterias and those things. So it's not like this won't be true. It's just unfortunately the person that has been looked for in this moment doesn't have a name.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah, and and it also if I put all those poems together, so it'd be like what I read with Edgar Allan Poe with his passion for his girl. That's what I feel. That's what I want to feel. That's like a huge drive.
You already have an idea of it. You just don't have a name. And so
it would be good for other teenage boys or girls to read them and be like, a guy can feel like that for you. A girl, even a girl, be like, a guy can be like that to you. They're not just dicks. Yeah, no, they're not.
I mean, they have them. They use them. But they aren't always. Yes, no. Sometimes, some like me, I'm witty, but I'm not as well versed in literature as to that point. I could probably make up a rhyme or two. I could make up a paragraph.
Yeah,
but nothing like this. But it's kind of forgot what I was doing.
Well, it's like I said, almost 20 years of practice.
Yeah,
and also I was efficient in English. I was in the AP, the advanced placement class. I was
I
very
was
good
not.
at
I did
English.
well in English, but I was not
And so I
AP.
kind of like, yeah, that was like, because that was my big thing, was writing poetry and understanding
I liked
where it comes
writing.
from and stuff like that.
I liked when it came to writing. I could write poems and what have you, but I really liked like stories. I was very much like the. I thought I could write the new Percy Jackson kind of kid,
Yeah,
or the new like Lord of the Rings.
short stories
You know, kind of like
yeah.
novellas.
That's where I started with a book that was supposed to be like a demon world, where they're half demons, and it was very Inuyasha like, mixed in with medieval times,
I get you.
not Japanese medieval times,
Just regular medieval
yeah.
times. I get you.
And that's where I originally started writing, and then I was like toying around with poetry for a newspaper, a school paper, whatever. I was like, I'm actually really good at this. This is.
I like this. This
Yeah,
is
this is-
me. I get you. This tastes good on my tongue,
yeah.
kind of thing. But it's So it's uh like I haven't written or drawn anything. I used to be a bigger drawer than I was a writer. Uh, but well,
I never
since
had the
my
talent.
D&D,
Never had the eye for it.
I can't shade worth a shit. Shading's where I get fucked up. I can't make things look. I can make them look realistic, but it takes a lot more time than just the doodle that I did for
Yeah, that was pretty good though.
D&D.
That was pretty badass. I couldn't imagine drawing something like that.
Like it was an hour and a half thing.
Best I got was Dragon Ball dudes' faces because they were all the same shape, pretty much.
I get you. I get you.
I could feel out where their eyes were. Like that's where it's it.
I started out by tracing things. Like my first thing, I got a Pokédex from like, the book that you go through. It has each Pokemon.
Yeah.
Well, each Pokemon had a page, and every Pokemon had a black line on it. So I'd put the paper over it, and then I'd trace them out and draw them and color them in and fucking, I don't know, stupid shit. Like,
So they
and
taught you
then-
the shape, like.
Yeah, I guess. And then after that, I just kind of like, I would doodle on things. And there for a while, I was a very big, like, dragons are my thing. I don't know why, for whatever reasons. It's my medieval, whatever, fantastical, however you want to put it. That is I just like them a lot.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing. So I would draw.
I wanted
dragons
a dragon tattoo on my
all the
back for
time.
the longest time.
I wanted to get
Standing on a cliff.
Charizard.
Huge.
Because Pokemon and dragons, it's two
Perfect,
things
yeah.
in the same deal. So I wanted to get a Charizard that like wrapped around my wrist, and like the flame for his tail ended up back here, but like his actual body was somewhere in my vicinity of my forearm. But instead, I got this guy on my ankle here. It's supposed to be like a crazed opposite version of the Spitfire, for skateboarding.
No.
Nope.
Nope.
You've never seen the. You have.
I don't know I don't know that it's called that, but I might know what it is. But
Dun, 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 dun. Skateboard. All right, we're going off of a doo-doo. Skateboard, spit, fire, logo. So give me the right thing. Yeah.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, it's like that, but
got you.
Like
a first version.
yeah, it's supposed to be a method. In all honesty, it is a personification or an epitome of my mental state most of the time, or
Gotcha.
I am calm and collected, but there's some trial and error to create the calm and collectedness.
Gotcha.
So I've been through some shit.
It's a torrent storm inside.
Yeah, it's to every calm sea, there's definitely quite the storm that riles the waves. But where was I get with that? Oh yeah, I wanted to get Charizard tattoo first. I don't blame you, man.
Oh, well, I guess we better hop off.
Yeah.
This was good shit, y'all.
Most definitely.
Subscribe, share, like.
Kiss.
So our
And there's
longest
your
episode
numbers.
so far, yeah.
I
It's going to be 0 viewers right now. I don't think anybody's popped in.
think it is our reviews the whole time. We got
Probably.
22 on the first one,
Yeah.
which thank you for making it
Yeah.
past 20.
Oh yeah. Speaking of,
And
the
last one got 8.
Yeah.
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 So I was thinking about this earlier. So I'm going to do a post when we hit 10 subscribers. I kind of want to my theory of like potential income in the future would be like merchandise, T-shirts and shit like that, sock hats, stuff like that. Like
hoodies.
one of them would just be like the CUM guzzlers, and then that's all it was. The shirt would say, you know,
right.
And then stuff like
the sweatpants may have like
just so
a
you
little
know,
bit of white stuff
and on the
dribbling
back,
down the edge
would
with
say
letters
we're
in
retarded,
it, like jizz alphabet soup.
Yeah, something like that. Like say like just so you know, and then on the back we're retarded.
Oh yeah.
Just like, and then like the CUM right underneath the retard, so that it's like our merchandise, but it's. But I was thinking that like the first, we could do 10 to 20. They should get some sort of discount since they're the first subscribers, like on all merch from like here on out, kind of situation.
Oh, like so there's a guy I watch on the same platform. His name is on the platform. I think it's Soup. He'll have like or they'll have like promo codes.
Yeah, that
like
kind of situation.
I think his current one now is Manscaped. Use code SOUPP and get 60% off on. I've heard it so many times on Manscaped, which not a sponsor. Sorry,
not affiliated.
If you're interested in that, that is the place to go for that, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of the people I watch, they've always got like some sort of paid sponsors where they're like hawking some product and they got their code on there to get a little bit off.
Like Blake with the gamer subs. Yeah. I think that's one of the products that they do on there. But it'd be like that, but with our own actual merchandise. Like, hey, if you're a big fan enough of this, here's a shirt to show the support.
It's very possible that in the future that we could, especially if we get enough subscribers and stuff like that, to run some sort of merchandise line, because it's fairly cheap to produce the shirts like through a company and then have that same company ship it out to the people, and then we'll just get like a small percentage of that money that goes there,
which may be like
a couple bucks a shirt, probably. It wouldn't be very much because this isn't the main income that I expect to, like, if it gets big enough, sure, maybe we start hawking a little bit more. We, $5,
$10 a
capitalism, baby,
Yeah, like if it makes the revenue and that's where it goes, then add investment.
We can do this more often. Get other people on here. Get some interviews with some people. Just talk to the fucking most whacked out people or the smartest people in the world. Like, that's very potential. That would be so much fun to get like people like, oh my God, if I could get Graham Hancock before he passes, he's an old guy. That would be one of the best fucking Graham Hancock, Randall Carlson, the people who are in like Jimmy Corsetti. They're in the ancient megalithic. That's a whole nother conversation.
Oh, like
ancient megalithic structures and their alternative history theory. A whole nother conversation for another episode. We got to get off here soon. But I would love to have some of those guys on to be able to ask them certain questions, just to hear, to get to know them in person. Be fucking amazing. But that's way down the line, I'm sure. But that would be the potential for our show, is like that we don't just, it's not just us. We get other people that we can get in, comedians, fucking anybody who wants to talk. Like I've already thought about getting our boss in here. I think he'd be interesting to talk to. I've already talked about Blake because I think it'd be interesting to hear his life story and hear him tell everything that goes on in his life.
Oh yeah.
I think it would be interesting, a good episode just to have, and stuff like that, like different people from around here.
Just in general, just different points of view.
Exactly.
I can see Nathan as well. Nathan,
he's got a lot of different theories.
He has not a bad miscellaneous. He's kind of like my dad, but he has like if it has a backstory or a very like peculiarly odd, sketchy history behind the actual like appearance of what it is, Nathan's your person.
Yeah.
Or horror movies.
And he's had an alien encounter.
Okay, now you got me intrigued.
He's been abducted, I believe is what he was visited at least. So like learning about that. I haven't heard the whole story. I've only ever joked around about it with him.
I don't blame him, but it
would be interesting to see if he'd get on here and talk about it, discuss aliens, all his other weird theories, Freemasons. He's got a big story about communism.
I was just saying, my dad's family on my side my family on my dad's side was into that a lot. That could probably be a topic that I could bring up. I don't know if I'm too worried about like the SWAT showing up or being redacted or somebody like fucking coming through, your
we have no
being like
first-hand knowledge, so I don't like we weren't the people in the Freemason, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like most of the stories I've got about it are like my dad's happenings and things going on.
Yeah, I'm willing to cover all those, like everything, the cult, the Freemasons, secret societies.
Nathan mentioned. I hate to say names, but he mentioned the Pizza Gang. I think I might have mentioned it on here before now, but like it's a conspiracy of the guy from Shinedown. Not Shinedown.
The Shining?
Lincoln Park.
Okay. Chesterfield?
Yes. The guy that killed himself?
Or Chester or something.
Yeah, I
think it was Chester.
I know he did kill himself, but there's like supposedly there's a conspiracy. Like it's it's like a hitman service, but they paid to have themselves fake killed, to get rid of the animosity of the fame. Yes. They still have the money and the responsibility. So he knew a little bit, had more information on that as well. Yeah. There's a whole it's a thing.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, I think it would be cool to branch out, and even people who we don't know around here would be into, like, some people from Boonville, some people from if anybody sees this video and shares it, and somebody has some crazy shit that's happening in their life, comment, chat on the comment, and look, if we can make it happen, we'll get something. We'll talk to you. We'll figure something out.
We may not give you unless
the whole episode
for it. Yeah, we may not give you that or advice, but
you can always tell us a crazy story, and we can always be like, we heard this crazy story from
a link for this
YouTuber or whatever, or somebody from YouTube told us this crazy story.
I'm always thankful to be distracted by something that's actually currently going on in the world that's nuts, other than the brain rot that YouTube has decided to flood my algorithm with. But
6, 7.
Yeah.
Brain rot. We appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one. Come guzzle our shit next time we're on. Whenever that is. We don't know when that is. We'll tell you when it is.
Yeah, you'll see when it is.
Yes.